Yeah, this is stream. Oh. That's my intro.
That's your intro?
That's my intro.
So you get me, so like, hey, you intro the stream, and then I go through this fucking...
All the
bullshit.
videos on my channel currently is me screaming someone to start. That's how it begins, and then it starts. I always cut it at that moment. It's me saying, you go, do it. And you're like, yes. That's how I start my streams.
So you get to have
That's how I
me
start
mumbling.
That's how the podcast works. But
And
yes.
then when you do the openings, it's good.
Yes, today we're back to a different formula, or the same formula as we did for the first 3 weeks. 3x3s! But this time it is of video games.
Yeah, we played.
And I lost the game.
Ah, fuck.
Haha.
And starting us off today, remove you, add you back, is Alexander's 3x3.
I haven't seen this one. Ooh.
Yes.
Bomb King. What, you chose Paladin Strike Bomb King?
Yeah, but it's a good image.
It is a good image. Fantastic.
That's why I chose him. Are we just doing the S thing that we always do from bottom?
What a preface the fact that I don't play video games very much. I just scrape the bottom of the barrel for these things. Some of them were very obvious. I play these video games a lot. And exclusively half of these a lot.
Yes.
But the other half was nostalgia. Okay, it's 2 that are nostalgia. But, give or take.
2. Nostalgia? I can think of
strictly. 2 strictly.
Is that...
And then a couple more that are still played today.
Yep.
Very good. First off, the first nostalgia, bottom right there, is Lego Marvel Superheroes. I believe you've all played this game.
I have.
Pod game.
Caleb played it? What?
Game.
Hang on.
I don't know.
I have 35.9 hours on it.
Weak.
So
That is rather.
I have
probably
played.
excellent amount.
That's an excellent amount, yeah. Weak.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this game and Skylanders Giants are games I can't pick up anymore because they're on the Wii U. No, they're on the Wii U, and all my progress is saved over there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm not in possession of that anymore.
I mean,
so
you can buy.
Yeah, I can still play Marvel Superheroes if I
Yeah.
buy it again.
Like it's rather cheap, I believe, as well.
It's $30 on the Steam store.
But the magic, the same magic isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
For me, at least.
Especially seeing as Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 exist.
Yeah, that was fun.
But like, the first one's so much better.
Excuse me.
The first one's so much better.
I remember years and years ago just opening up this game and then doing nothing but fucking driving around the entire city. I remember when I was young, I had the entire fucking map almost memorized.
You
That
did?
shit was fucking hard. Almost, except drove around, flew around, fucking swung around all the fucking time. Right, I love that shit. I love that you could just fly up to the top of the helicarrier. Fuck the missions. It's the fucking replay of the map. That shit was hard.
Especially because it was New York. You could run around.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, just do whatever you like. Exactly. That's why it was so very attractive. There were other games. May I just say there were other games that had a better open worldness to it, but I think, playing as a hero, playing as a superhero, you can only get that through this game and how expansive it got with it. Like
Spider-Man PS4 did something similar.
Yeah.
Just going around with Spider-Man around that vast free-play city, and the swing mechanics are apparently amazing. I haven't played it.
Well, one thing though is like I remember about the game is like because you have to jump off the pad, right? And I only remember only one character had a different parachute, and that was Captain America. Everyone else had a different one. They had different Iron Man suits that could do partially different things.
Yeah.
Like Heartbreaker, which is my favorite Iron Man suit.
That's where I properly learned about Heartbreaker. Or got the interest to learn about some of the sense.
It was also heavily comic based compared to the next one.
Compared to like Marvel Avengers and like Marvel Superheroes too.
Yeah, like that was actually the game where I learnt about Nova. That was the first time I ever saw Nova, and you know, like Nova's one of my favorite Marvel heroes.
I just crashed Quinjets into the.
Deadpool was a big thing in that one as well. Deadpool's in the sequel.
Oh, it was too, wasn't it?
Yeah, you have all like the Deadpool missions and stuff, which was unique and interesting. Obviously, for me, like going into it, because I played the previous, all of the Batman Lego games, it definitely felt like it had evolved from them a bit, like in terms of the mechanics, the open worldness to it, because obviously, Batman Lego was
Lego Batman 2, that sort of idea, and then
they made it bigger, and then for Lego Batman 3. You could explore each of the Lantern worlds, as well as the Justice League, the League of Doom's base, the Hall of Justice, the Watchtower, just a few various different places that you can go. You can just be on the moon, chill out on the moon. And like one of my favorite aspects of that is like after we finish the game, because obviously I played the game to completion. Me and my brother would just play hide and seek on the moon. And the thing I always hated about Lego about Marvel superheroes is we couldn't do it in the city because there was always the minimap showing you where the other person was. And it always annoyed me because that wasn't in Lego Batman, so I could just go hide and seek.
Block out the minimap. Just get a piece of paper, block it out, and then play hide and seek.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Yeah, but like your thing pops up above your head still as well.
Lol.
Yeah, that's I'm like, no, let me be free. But
what I liked Lego Marvel superheroes?
What?
It had a fucking working train system.
It did. That was cool.
You could just see a train going. You're like, oh, I want to get on this train. You just get on the train, and then you just travel around the entirety of New York on it.
Just laugh. That's still one of the best games, and I always love going back to like those like near 100% completed games, and this is one of them, of Lego, and just like looking at everything I've done, everything that there is. It's so interesting to see also what they add in, right, at that time, because it's like, oh, who would know this random person? It's like, how big is this person? Like, before I could even like register what was happening in like Batman Lego 3, I didn't even realize that Jeff Johns is actually a character in that you can become.
What?
Yeah, he's a character. He's a character in the Lego Batman 3. that was mad.
Is he like Stan Lee in the sense he has all these powers or not?
Yeah.
Oh, you God.
You could become Adam West, which is more similar to, I think, the whole Stan Lee thing, where you have to save him a lot of times and get all the things to unlock him. I never got Stan Lee in Lego Marvel.
I almost did.
I never did because I could never put in the effort to go back through all the games through free play. But for some reason, I think because of the lack of games I had on like the Switch, I did it for Lego Marvel 2 at that time because I just had a lack of them, so I just did it.
I think I credit a lot of what I'm into Marvel now to that video game because it had all these different characters.
It had a
that
lot.
I never would have known.
It had the previous Star-Lord costume. I remember that. That was one of them.
Bro, I fucking saw the Guardians and I'm like, what the fuck are these guns doing here?
Yeah.
And then the movie happened. It makes sense.
There was quite a lot of characters in it. Obviously.
There were a lot of characters. Yeah.
Like
obviously, they had a lot of mutants and crap.
It was 2012's Avengers that probably got me into Marvel, but there was also the Superhero Squad show and this game that got me into the deeper the deeper parts of the lore, and not just the movies.
Yes.
So I credit them a lot for influencing me when I was way younger, and that's a big reason it's part of nostalgia because this is something I have played and only played as a child, and is a massive memory. This is before I ever got the ability to play online games with you lot.
This is also like one of your only games here that is solo play. That you did you play this by yourself, or because you can multiplayer it?
I play with my brother sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
I had people over, we pop on the game, but yeah, completely by myself.
Okay, and that's something that's unheard of for you, especially now.
Yep.
Well, I'm just looking at the character roster. It had Captain Britain.
Yep.
Beta Ray Bill was a DLC apparently. Ant-Man. Again, like, but even still, all these costumes were all comic book based and not the movie.
Well, there was some.
There was some.
There were skins.
Yeah. Like, I think Captain America had his, but he also had the classic version.
And there was also Thor and Loki movie version.
Yes. Gambit. Groot was just a big fig and not what he is in Lego Masterpiece 2.
Just what he originally was.
Yeah. You had the Fantastic Four as well, which was a big part of it.
Fucking
the story.
Baxter building. I love that all the buildings are. I could never find the sector. I say I memorized the map, but I almost memorized the map. I could never fucking find the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Oh, you could.
I'd find it on accident, like, oh, there it is, and then I'd fucking lose it again. It's like Doctor Strange fucking punk illusion spell. Like the fucking daughters bullshit. Like what's the awareness thing?
Yeah.
I don't know the actual concept. I just read about it.
J. Jonah Jameson, that was fun. I unlocked J. Jonah Jameson. Yeah, there was just a lot of characters. A lot of Spider-Man characters, a lot of mutants, Fantastic Four characters.
I hate the mutants hard in the second one. Of course they are. Play the fucking X-Men.
That is one thing.
Fantastic
Like,
Four.
it had a lot of what the bigger aspects of Marvel in terms of comic books. But when the second one came out, they went more the movie route with it, and
Or whatever they had rights to.
yeah.
So if any characters that were there were in the movies or had the ability to be in the movies, that's why they weren't any X-Men. That's why they weren't.
Yeah.
But that's why they had Gwenpool replacing Deadpool.
That's right. Yeah.
God damn.
Yes.
But such is life.
Such is life.
I do want to, if you're done with this topic, I want to skip rounds and go to Skylanders Giants.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because they're the same vein for me.
Yeah.
Games I played years ago by myself to completion on my Wii U. And I had fucking dozens and dozens of Skylanders. That shit.
How many Giants did you have?
Almost all of them.
I had 3.
I was trying to avoid all of them.
I had 3.
Fucking Dumpback, Eyebrow, Swarm, the other ones.
You remember their names?
I remember 3 of their names. Tree Rex, 4 of their names. It's half of them, 50%.
I mean, the one you got was the tree one, right?
Yeah.
Tree Rex.
Everyone had the fucking tree one.
Yeah.
My favorite was Eyebrow and Swarm. Swarm mostly. Swarm was my main.
I had Swarm, and my third was Crusher.
There was some.
Crusher was the big guy, the hammer, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crusher.
Those are the ones I had. There weren't a lot of giants, were there?
Just 8 of them.
Yeah.
I had all 8. I had the fucking like a piece of plastic that you could just put all with like symbols on them, so you just put all 8 of them around there.
I
put
put
the portal in the middle
underpants on Tree Rex. To this day, he wears the underpants hat that I gave him.
Basically, we sold fucking money on this shit. There was I don't remember what it is, but there was like a board game in there.
What?
In the game, Skylanders Giants.
I'm just
looking pieces.
And
you had like plug them in like a jigsaw puzzle, and then whoever had taken over every other person's pieces.
It was. May I just say? It was.
I forgot what it was called, and I forgot how to play it. But I made a physical version of that back when I was a fucking child.
Did you also play the original Skylanders? Yeah.
No.
No.
Just Giants.
Oh, so you just came into it as Giant. Oh, okay.
Just came into
I've got one Giants, and then Swap Force, I think.
See.
Yeah, I had Swap Force as well, but no.
See, I think one of the biggest motivators for me to get into Skylanders was Spyro. I feel like a lot of people...
I had no idea who the Spyro count was.
Yeah. Because Spyro was one of those characters that I compared to like Sonic and Mario of my childhood, because I played Spyro games. And I have some. But like to go into this world and like there was just so many characters that you could be and play, and it looks so interesting. right? Like,
I don't
remember
know what I
like
could
a
say
bunch
about
that I
this game.
had that was just so fun to play. Like Double Trouble was always fun.
I don't remember names. I just remember the Giants names and Spyro and Trigger Happy.
Jet Vac, he just had a vacuum.
Jetpack.
Pop Fizz was one of my favorites.
Pop Fit. I didn't Google this shit. Like I did nothing in preparation.
On my
Chill,
shrine.
Chill was like a fucking Maeve type character with the fucking spinny blades that just get thrown.
I remember I liked
Snyder was already a Spyro character, which was great.
What's her name? The one with the skulls. Hex, was it?
Hex, yeah, Hex had it.
Yeah.
Wait, yes.
I liked Hex.
Gil Grunt, that was a good one.
Oh yeah, he's on.
Igniter, the fucking Flame Knight, that was cool.
The list of Skylanders, Earth and...
Oh, I love Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom was one of my favorites. Especially like because you could level them up, you could change their abilities as well. I think. Trigger Happy is just classic.
Yeah, I think I have Sonic Boom somewhere.
I
had the female Spyro, but I forgot her name.
Her name is Cinder, I think.
Cinder, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Eruptor. Hot Dog. Loved Hot Dog.
Terrafin, I love Terrafin. Terrafin was just Garchomp for me. He's just fucking Garchomp. He's a
I remember I
ground
think I
shot.
wanted him, but I never got a hold of him.
Man, even this is bringing us nostalgia. Like, what the fuck? I forgot they had fucking shiny versions as well. There was
I don't know what I could really say about this game that I've played for hours, because I don't remember much. I just know that this entire drawer of Skylanders and some of the fondest memories I have on my Wii U.
I think characters really did it. There were so many good characters.
There was so many interesting, unique characters in that fucking game. Yeah. And you could switch around and play with them, and you'd feel like you'd, even though you just paid fucking $20 for the character, like you'd earn the right to play this character.
And even if you had like previous ones, you could still use them in the new game.
Yes.
Which was always great. Like if they trashed that, I feel like everyone would just hate on it so much.
Yeah,
you've already spent all this money on the Skylanders, which is already a waste of money and a terrible concept. The fact that it worked is a burden on everyone's wallets.
Yes.
I think Skylanders executed it the best. Lego Dimensions did it alright, but I think Skylanders by far.
Yeah, because like I had some that were just like of the original and not the Giants version, like Double Trouble. I only had the original version. Chop Chop, he was funny. I think I had Drill Sergeant.
I wish I could go back and look at them with the drawer. I don't even own the fucking cupboard anymore.
Like Gil Grunt, I had the original one of Igniter. I had the Giants one. Like even looking at some, like there was some that I just never had or never played, so I don't know what the fuck they do. And there was always, as long as you had like one of each of like the typings, like the water type, the fire, the grass, the fucking magic, the earth one.
Life.
Trigger Happy was always fun.
Always loved Trigger Happy.
Zook. Yeah, Zook I had the Giants version for.
Yep.
Trigger Snappy.
And there was just like some extra shit, like ghost swords that you could add on as well. Just extra shit. Like I had the ghost swords and they were just extra damage and shit. Or whatever.
I had a cannon. And it wasn't a Skylander.
I had the pirate seas as well, yeah.
You just put the cannon down on the portal with another Skylander.
Yeah.
And the portal, the cannon would just be there as like a follower. And it would shoot you.
It was also while you played, right? Like, I think the level, like, if you died in the game, it really just mattered about how many Skylanders you had.
Yeah.
Because you could just, if you had all of them, you could just go swap, and just keep playing.
Because their health was, yeah.
But yeah, I think I definitely enjoyed Giants a bit more. But I could never get further than Giants. I played a little bit of Swap Force. I thought it was a cool idea, but waste of money.
Bought a bunch of Skylanders for them, and then I just didn't play more.
Oh,
and that was me when I was fucking 12.
Yeah.
Or some shit. I don't know how old I was. Young.
Before you met me, Alex.
Was it?
I don't know. No. Actually, no, you would have met me if you were 12.
Skylanders.
Right.
What?
Wait, would you? No. What? Yes. Wait.
2013. Then...
No, you wouldn't have
No.
If
Half these games are old.
Yeah, because you did meet me when you were 12, but you were turning 13. Yeah. Were you? I don't fucking remember.
Regardless, these two games on here will hold a special place in my heart for being some of the earliest games I've ever played. Another game also fits into that category, but we'll get to that later. Any other additional comments on Skylanders Giants or Lego Marvel Superheroes?
It was a waste of money, but fun.
Yeah.
Terrible waste of money.
Waste of money, but fun.
Yeah.
I was 10. I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I understood that. Like,
can I get through
that? Because like there were also very similar games. Like Dimensions is very similar in that aspect, where you had to buy shit, right? But like, I'll be like the first character I got outside of the ones you immediately get is Superman, right? And Superman is already a broken character. So I just did the mission so easily with Superman. Just fucking zoop dead. But definitely, I don't think like that could happen with kind of Giants. And I understand like they're definitely marketed towards kids, and we were kids at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But as we obviously got older, I think there was just we just kind of disassociated ourselves with the franchise, and I think due to us and the way that we were the market for them, and they couldn't get past that, I think. Once like they tried to do different things and tried to make it kiddier, and I don't think Skylanders doesn't exist still. No, it doesn't. Does it? What was their last game?
I think they exist, but I don't think they're making new games.
Yeah.
I think the last one was Imaginators.
2011 original, 2012 Giants. Skylander Trap Team. I don't fucking know. Oh, okay. So Imaginators in 2016, which I have no clue what the fuck this is.
Concept though.
What is Imaginators?
No idea.
I don't know. I think you just make your own Skylander.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. But yeah, so yeah, for the time, it kind of it ended. The last one I literally remember was the vehicle one, and that's when I thought, okay, they've lost the plot.
Yeah, I saw the vehicle one, and still as a child, I'm like, no thanks.
They've lost the plot. No, I'm not gonna pay for this shit. Yeah, we can move on. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Rounds is was the last one. Like,
yeah.
That was I'll put it on. I got nothing else. Rounds is fairly simple.
Even I was just
1v1 game.
I'm the one who suggested rounds because I have no fucking clue. I was just trying to think about what games have you fucking played. Shock.
Nah.
Nah.
I know Caleb and I played rounds a bunch. It was nice to just why not? Two of us here. Let's just play a few rounds of rounds, and basically we just get to there are dozens of cards that we could choose from to change our play styles, and every 1v1 we come back more powerful with different weapons.
I feel like it's a good filler game.
Yeah, it is.
It's a great filler game.
And using these guns, it's also part RNG, but you get to choose from what gets selected to you, and you have these random assortments of upgrades, and just
make your
starting the game up with simple bullets, and then by the end of it, you just have a fucking hit scan that destroys half the map.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Never played.
Seen
it too much.
Spray, fucking fastball, time detonation, and mayhem.
I remember a full conversation of you guys talking of all the people who played rounds. They were all just fucking talking about all the different combos and shit. I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking.
Combos are fun.
You have no lives.
Fuck shit up.
You put mayhem, and you put mayhem. I can't remember the card that makes it. What's the one that makes it that every bounce it gets more powerful?
Trickster.
I can't remember. Trickster. Mayhem, Trickster, and then you get Grow. It becomes Chaos. You have to see it to understand the sheer.
You should see it on my end to see how fucking destructive it is.
disco,
and the viewers who are clearly watching the stream, my laptop can't run it for shit. So it just, I don't know why it does what it does, but it does it. And I fucking hate it. Basically, Grow makes my game unplayable, and anything that simulates it. Like Trickster, but I tolerate Trickster. Trickster and Grow, though. But yeah, it's just a fun, cheap 1v1 game. And then it's like, yeah, let's do it. Wait for the people to get on. We'll do some rounds, and then we just play it for longer than we should have.
Yeah.
It is a nice filler game. Would recommend vaguely. Just make sure you have someone to play with.
Mm. It's also relatively cheap, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's $7, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably a bit more.
You can probably get it cheaper whenever like sales come out. Like you can get like peanuts, I guess. Whenever a sale's around. So we're going up to Left 4 Dead 2, I guess.
I suppose we are.
Isn't that right, Joseph Joestar?
Okay.
Isn't that your skin in the fucking game or some shit?
No, that's there's a plugin that probably you probably watched Nate's stream. It was Nate, no, Brian's. Who would have Joseph Joestar. Left 4 Dead is I don't know what the game's called.
Survival?
No. That's not what I mean. Like it's heavily customizable with hundreds of different possible add-ons that everyone can add to their own games to make this playstyle unique. For example, the main boss of the game, the tank, I've turned him into Shrek, and his theme music is All Star. And instead of throwing more boulders, he throws donkey, and it's amazing. I have a bunch of add-ons that make all the male characters not have shirts on.
Of course.
Okay.
And I have one where you can turn the pipe bombs into Minecraft TNT, and that's pretty much the extent of the add-ons I've run.
Okay.
But you could heavily customize your game with a bunch of fucking bullshit. Right. The game is a survival game, right? You're a survival man who's surviving a zombie apocalypse, and then you've got like 3 other cunts with you. And your objective is to survive waves and waves of zombies. There are dozens. The campaign, there are different levels you can go through to get from one point to the other to survive. I don't know what the story mode is because I never played it because I didn't care. But I did play a lot of game modes with some people. We just go through different waves and different levels, different difficulties. It was just a team survival, and I really enjoy that kind of cooperative campaign mode. Which is why I liked Castle Crashers that I played a couple weeks ago. It's why I liked playing Halo campaigns when I went to other people's houses. I like going with my mates, and then just going through the level with them. I love I love cooperation while I do. What's the word? Competitive. That's all. Competition. I fucking love that shit, right? Mm-hmm. And Left 4 Dead would let me do that. I'd go with them, and I could fucking go through these levels. And then we'd fucking die to zombies because they're fucking painful. Like, they're really fucking painful.
Yes.
And the different bosses have different abilities. Some would suck you up, some would explode on you, some would ram you into walls. And I just love. And then it's fucking Steam Workshop bullshit. You can get your own maps, like in Gmod, and people can make their own game modes and maps in that, so you could go to what we do is we download these maps and then we play through those maps. So now none of us knew what was going on because when I played it, George and Nate had played the game's completion apparently multiple times, and Brian and I were fucking noobs, which is the same with Castle Crashers and several other games we play now. So if we get these other maps and we play them, all of us would be going in blind, with the only difference being skill level. And going through it's just fun. I just love the fucking cooperative fun bullshit. Right?
Save yourselves.
Love Left 4 Dead. Fantastic. Fun game. Would recommend. Not too fond of the versus modes where you can also play the zombies because that's competitive. Someone just ring the doorbell right now. I'm gonna go check that. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It's fine. It's live stream. These things are to be expected.
It is what it is.
Alex, Caleb, you're with me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if we ever play Left 4 Dead, we just feed him to the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about putting.
Sorry.
Okay. Never mind.
What was
We'll get to that later.
What happened?
Nothing.
We're plotting your demise.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's as much as I can say.
Yeah, and we can't really talk all that much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Any comments I made would just be on the Source engine in general rather than Left 4 Dead 2.
Mm-hmm. Here's something we can talk about there.
We can?
We can?
Last I checked, we've all played this thing for hundreds of hours.
I don't know about
I have?
you, man. What is it? I don't know. What is it, Alex?
I think it's called Roblox.
Whoa!
Next game here is Minecraft here, and I believe we've all played that to some extent. I'm much more of a late bloomer when it comes to Minecraft. I only got the game after the combat update.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'd play Minecraft Pocket Edition, or watched playthroughs from like Big Star or Popular MMOs, so it depends on how old it was. But then after playing the game, obviously we have those Minecraft worlds we've done. There's Egg Wars, which was blast, way back in the day when we were in its prime, and even Bed Wars now. Fun as fuck game, and that's as much as help me out, guys, please.
I'm not helping you.
I'm not helping you.
When I rant about it, I'm ranting about it on my one.
You bastard. I don't know what. I'm just talking to you. What happened to conversation? This is the point.
Fine. I think to a certain point when you're younger, just having your own like little world by yourself is alright. But I think what really makes Minecraft great is playing with friends. Especially like if you all have like your own little server and own little world where little things can happen, and you just create like all these like fun stories, or even just when you're playing mini games, like the unexpected might happen, like the time I beat a hacker with my fist. It's like that's just a part of the story. It's like you never know what was gonna happen. Me when I beat everyone with snowballs. When Alex had the clear advantage against everyone, I won with snowballs.
It's a game you can do any number of things in it, including beat my ass.
I think just the hours of mindless playing of random mini games that you could just choose from, and then having your own world of survival, which I think we're a little bit more fond of these days, especially with like how things have updated. Like we play less mini games, like we mentioned Bed Wars, we still play.
Casually.
Yeah, casually.
I know. So my fondest memories are just mindless hours into games that I don't even realize how time goes by. Minecraft is the biggest example of this because I played that till fucking 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And later, I know there is maybe a dozen times with Gesh playing in in one of our survival worlds where he leeches off of me. But that's fine.
He's done that too many times.
I leech off you.
Everyone leeches off me.
I do not.
If you don't leech off of me, you're better than me, or you can't be, or you'd rather be more dependent. Independent, sorry. Yeah, exactly. You can't give a shit. Bagesh is just an idiot. Yeah. But just hours and hours and hours late into the night with nothing but that game and just your friends fucking mucking around, blowing up Dean's house and making redstone construction.
I did blow it up, didn't I?
He did.
I love a Cassidy's
We turned his house into a volcano.
Yeah.
We lava come
from
his house.
Beautiful. That was beautiful.
And I think clearly for a lot of these games, it's not really just about the game; it's about the memories I make with them.
Yeah.
With Monster Heroes and Skylanders Giants, it was when I played by myself, and nothing better to do. But on my Wii U, I just played these fucking games. With Left 4 Dead and Continuous, I don't really give a fuck about the game. It's about everything you can do with the game, everything you can play with your friends with the game, and all the shitty adventures you can do. How customizable it can be. It'll be different every time. And when it stops being different...
In one server, I built a giant structure from one piece. In another server, I created a kingdom of doors.
In your hole?
Huh?
The kingdom of doors in your hole?
No, I mean the fucking door dynasty, the massive wall of doors I created to fence up a portion of the world that I claimed as my own.
Okay.
Which was very recent, but still.
You're fucking obsessed with the fucking doors, apparently. I
Doors
always
are
built
fun.
the same fucking stone brick
Doors are fun.
spruce wood house. For some reason, every time.
We need more doors.
It doesn't need more doors.
We need more doors.
I set up a landmine near Dean's house.
I think I set it off. I saw iron ore. I'm like, I want that.
Boop. There's a lot of memories.
And the fucking this when I first went to it, Pineapple Craft, I think it was, when you built the Sunny.
Yes.
We were in an archipelago in the middle of an ocean, a bunch of islands. And I'm
There's
like,
only
this is
three
fun
of
as
us.
fuck. Ethan, I suddenly want to watch One Piece. Because
Yeah.
of your One Piece bullshit and this archipelago and all this pirating we're doing, or yo ho ho, and that's literally Minecraft is why I'm a One Piece fan now.
You're welcome.
And Ethan in Minecraft.
That's what happens when he's left alone with me in a random multiplayer server. That was fun.
It was.
That was probably our
It
best
was.
one because we built a lot in that world.
I had an entire island just to cut down wood to give you what you fucking needed. We made the entire map of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we also did we made our home base island it was originally our home base island into like a township.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
We
an
had
actual
all these
like
different stores, and he had this elevated pool you made.
yeah, that was funny. And they were all source blocks as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like the elevated pool was massive.
Update with all the coral. We were in a coral reef.
Yeah.
All because I never played this version of Minecraft. The new Minecraft version coming in, we played Pineapple Craft. We're in the middle of an ocean, smack bang next to a coral reef. Shit was fire. I never explored the ocean that way before.
Mm.
Once again, these memories with mates, they were formed by just countless hours of just playing the game.
That was the
Definitely
best
one of
ocean
my
living
Minecraft.
I think I've ever done in the Minecraft server.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I had my
Without
house
that.
and my house entrance was underwater.
yeah. And then you also have what now we're getting caves very soon, so it'll be very very interesting to see how people deal with
Yeah, I
that.
haven't played that yet.
I've played a little bit of it just to see the changes and crap. But
Once we get a server up and running with that update,
yes.
is when I'll actually explore it.
Yeah.
I used to watch videos explaining every single detail of the new updates.
Yeah.
Now I don't give a fuck. I'm just ready to go and explore by myself.
No, yeah, that's exactly right.
Rocks are white now? I don't know. I
We
don't know
can
what the
explore
difference is.
forever. I know we're going to be
I'm
talking
gonna
about
go
other shit
to
once we get to everyone else's ones, because I know what Caleb wants to talk about.
I'm gonna get
So we
up
might as
to
well just move on, because
update.
we can talk more about Minecraft with everyone's list, I guess.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers, then, is another fill one, to be honest. It's fun. It's fun as fuck. I love playing Little Mac. I love either kicking ass or getting my ass kicked.
How many of the games have you played?
Just the one on the Wii U and Ultimate.
Okay.
And I have played the original, like on the end. I think it was N4 or GameCube. I forgot which one. At some other people's houses. Clunky as fuck. Don't give a fuck. It is just an old game, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not going to truly criticize the game for that.
Yeah.
That being said, I just had more fun with the newer games. They're just smoother.
Caleb, what was the second Super Smash Bros?
Melee.
Okay.
There was Smash Brothers on the 64, then Melee for the GameCube.
Yeah.
Then Brawl for the Wii. Then they made the Wii U version and the 3DS version
So
for Smash Bros.
the only one I have not played is Melee. I played the original. Brawl was my first one I ever played on the Wii. And then I had Ultimate, and I also had the 3DS version for some reason. And I have played Ultimate, but I don't have Ultimate.
I think I played all of them, but not a lot of the first two. But I haven't played a lot of them. I played Brawl the most.
Brawl is just fun as
a
fuck.
lot.
I played Brawl the most as well, yeah.
The Smash 4, I didn't really play a lot.
But that's fair. It's just
I played it more personally than Ultimate, but Ultimate I've probably played more at other people's houses.
For the Wii U version, I more played it as a multiplayer game. Like, I could never play it by myself. Just because there weren't a lot of things to do, like, by yourself. Or just, like, play it by... Yeah, because, like, one of the funnest aspects of Brawl was that story mode. And that story mode is very memorable to me.
Oh, man.
Like, fighting Rayquaza? Oh, what the fuck,
God, that was
man.
sick as.
Yeah, but it was a hard thing, because Rayquaza was a bitch.
See, this is a filter to me, and you guys are talking about it more than me.
Yeah, well, it incorporates a lot of characters in one place. It's something like... It's a great idea, and you would want more games like it, but to actually have a proper story mode. Like Jump Force, for example. It had a story, but the story was shit. And the game was heavily unfinished. Super Smash Bros. There's just so many Nintendo characters, and it's a part of a lot of people's childhood. And everyone can like find their kind of character or person to play. Like, you've never played Punch-Out, but you love Little Mac.
Love Little Mac. It's fun.
You've never played a Pokemon game.
Never touched a Punch-Out game in my life. Never played a Pokemon game outside of Pokemon game.
And yes, your main is what?
Incineroar.
Yeah.
Love him.
Fire Cat Wrestler.
Yes.
I still disagree with them adding him to the game, but since he's in the game, I'm going to play the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Every other character they've added is fair enough.
Yeah. And there was a lot of DLC characters in it.
Yeah, every DLC they had, fair enough. Maybe except Piranha Plant, but he's still
Piranha Plant. And like there were all sorts of it's fucking Minecraft made it in.
Minecraft?
Steve and Alex made it into the fucking look, what the hell?
Even the fucking Enderman.
Yeah. Well, you have the normal ones like Mario, Donkey Kong, Link, Samus, Kirby, Fox, Pikachu. Those are like characters who are like the faces of like Nintendo and crap. And then you have like other characters from this stuff like Meta Knight, King Dedede, Dark Samus, Yoshi, Ness. You have Captain Falcon. There's just so many characters you can play, and you can even be introduced to new series from this. Like realistically, this is my first Legend of Zelda game because this is the first time I've ever really played as Link or Zelda or whatever. Like Pit.
Maybe I should get into Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Fantasy games. There's the
They're easy to get into because you can just start from wherever.
I played. I should have loaded like the
Mr.
Nintendo,
Game and Watch. Oh.
What was that Wii U game that just had like 8 mini games inside it? One of them was
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land. That shit.
Yeah,
I probably should have added that because I love the a lot of games in there were fun as fuck.
Oh, I love.
The
I think
Metroid one, the Pikmin one, I'm especially fond of, and the Zelda one.
I like the Zelda one. I liked the Metroid one the most.
Metroid was fun. I didn't know a single. I don't know, and I only know like a little bit more about Metroid now. But back then, you fucking nothing. Still fun as fuck game mode. And no idea what was going on at any point in time.
Bird woman in suit. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah. But like this was the first time I've ever seen like Star Fox characters, and it got me interested in Star Fox. So I played Star Fox. I do wish there was a great game currently for Star Fox. That's the only shame of it, I think. There's like I want new, fresh games for a lot of these things. Captain Falcon has been lost to time.
I mean, Metroid just got a new game.
Metroid is also getting another game, Metroid 4. I forget the other bit of its name, but it's getting another.
Dread?
No. This is a different game. Dread's different. This is Metroid 4 something else. That's not released yet. Pit.
Isn't it?
What's Pit from again?
Kid Icarus, sorry.
Kid Icarus,
Oh yeah, Kid Icarus. Yeah, never played Kid Icarus. But it's like you would wish like some of these characters got newer games or something. Wario got a new WarioWare finally.
Yeah. I think actually no. I think Kid Icarus. I think there is a new Kid Icarus game.
There is? Interesting.
Let me look it up. I thought so.
Or
It
like
used to be
what Ness
the
and
Kid Icarus,
think
Captain
any-
Falcon,
yeah.
and Samus, but
Oh, so
then Samus obviously
there
got.
was one in 2012.
Uh,
Yeah. So not new, but yeah.
Pikmin got Pikmin 3 recently-ish. I think it was still a couple of years ago, but like whatever.
Mostly Nintendo's just been
2017
doing
something.
Pokemon, Mario, and some Splatoon as well.
Yeah.
The fact that there wasn't any Metroid news.
Fire Emerald, never played Fire Emerald. Don't know
Fire
what the fuck any of the characters are.
Yeah.
Wii Fit
I've
Trainers
been
was
meaning to
Fenny.
look into it.
Mega Man. Pac-Man.
I might talk about that a bit later.
Pac-Man. What, you gonna talk about Pac-Man?
Oh, back on the
Duck
third
Hunt
being, he's
Dog. Some of these
Duck
games I
Hunt
understand like why they can't have newer games like Duck Hunt Dog. What you thought the fuck you gonna do?
Isn't Watchdog? Not Watchdog. I just watched the Mr. Game and Watch and Rob. Aren't they like not? I don't know anything. I'm genuinely.
They're different. Yeah.
Mr. Game and Watch is not. It came from the
Yeah.
Game and Watch little handheld games.
I have
And
a couple of them.
He's based off of like the character designs in the Game and Watch games.
Yes.
So he isn't actually a character, more just
Yeah.
the design of characters in those games.
Yeah.
And if you play his level I know it's in Brawl, it might not be in Ultimate, but if you play his level, you'll see like the levels will switch between the different Game and Watch games.
Yeah.
Rob is just a toy.
Yeah. So
And-
some
but
of the
it
characters
was
aren't even characters.
And
Well,
We
it's
Fit
never
Train,
tried
it's
to-
like, come on,
Anyway.
man. We have a new we have a new fitness person. It's the fucking Power Ring person, isn't it? where are they?
Ring Fit.
Ring
That's a
Fit. That's the one.
character.
Shulk. What the hell's Shulk from?
Chrono?
Yeah, no
No,
clue.
bro.
Street Fighter. I played a little bit of Street Fighter.
Is he? No. Fuck, hang on.
Ken.
Xenoblade, that's it. Fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Xenoblade.
Bayonetta.
That's. I know of Xenoblade because Sawano does the music.
Inkling.
What
Finally adding Ridley as a character. Isabel.
Isabel.
Castlevania. Simon. Yeah.
I need to play Castlevania again.
I
I need to
don't know.
finish my- I need to finish
Ice
my-
Climbers. What the fuck game do they have?
Ice Climbers.
No, yeah, but like,
I think that's
last
the
game.
name of it. I think that's the actual name of the game.
Yeah,
Ice
but the
Climbers.
last game of it, like when was it the last game? Time I had a game. I just wish there was more games,
I
right?
don't even know if they have any more games. I thought they only had one.
Dr. Mario.
Oh no, they've had a few.
No.
Okay, they've had. It's the same. According to the wiki, it's
It's the same game.
it's the same name, but it's just for different things.
Okay.
Last game was Verse Ice Climber on
What's
the
going on?
Nintendo
I
Switch.
don't know. The cops are here. Oh no.
When do the cops make that noise?
Shut up.
Yeah, so
Detective.
there was one in 2019 for the Switch, and there was one in 2018 for the How they play, I have no clue.
No, yeah. What about Ness and thingy?
Earthbound.
Lucas.
Earthbound,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know there's.
I like how we're just talking about other
I
games.
know there's at least 3 games.
Because all I
Uh,
treated as
so
a
there's
combination of other games.
Okay, so
it's
there's
just a fighting game.
Mother
I don't
2.
play that.
That's,
Sorry, right?
there's Mother 2, Earthbound, Mother 1+2. Okay, the last game was 2015, according to this.
Okay. That was
Yep.
a long time ago-ish. Still. Interesting. Oh yeah, they did add fucking Dragon Quest character into the game, didn't they?
Did they?
I think so.
Yeah, hero.
Yeah. You have Terry. You have one of the fucking, what is it? The fucking, the weird Switch games. Min, what the hell?
Ah,
Oh, arms.
Yeah, Arms. They had Arms. They had a Joker from thingy. Oh,
from
what?
Persona, yeah.
Yeah, Persona. There's a lot. Sora, obviously, from
Or it
Kingdom
was just
Hearts.
as yeah.
Sora. Oh,
From Kingdom Hearts.
yeah, Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts.
I said Kingdom. Other characters from, like, from other series. I don't know. There's just a lot of characters that you can play. Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I wonder where he's from.
People waited for Crash Bandicoot to be added, but then he never did.
They never. Well, it's harder to get Crash, isn't it?
They got the fucking rights to a Disney character. They'll be right.
Yeah, but like
What Disney character?
Sora.
Oh, that's right. No, yeah, because it is part. Yeah,
He's
that's
Disney,
right,
yeah.
Yep. I was forgetting. Yeah.
Crash is doing his own thing. He doesn't want to be with the competition.
They got fucking Minecraft
Sonic.
Steve.
It was
One-
always
one-
just that weird thing, right, where they got like things that didn't feel like they belonged. Pac-Man, Mega Man, Sonic.
Snake.
It's like what the fuck. But also at that
Fucking
time,
Solid Snake and Bayonetta
yeah.
Mega Man belongs.
and Joker. They all have fucking guns.
The only
Minecraft.
thing with Mega Man,
What?
Mega Man was originally released on the Nintendo consoles,
Yeah.
and I think they remained there, though they might have changed to PlayStation at some point, but I'm not too familiar.
Okay.
But yeah, no, they the only thing with them is they're a
Dragon
different
Quest.
company, but still they're on.
Yeah, well. I don't know. Fighter game. Punch. My main is the random button.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a good question. If you would choose like one of the characters to get like an updated game, who would you choose?
Ooh. I would say Lunac, but that's just absolute bullshit. Has there already been any
I mean, you can choose Little Mac.
Solid Snake games?
Also, okay. I've never played a Solid Snake game. I've seen it and how it operates.
I think I played 5 seconds of the original.
Okay.
But
I think my answer has to be Captain Falcon.
Yeah, looks like it.
no, actually, I would copy that answer. Yeah.
Yeah,
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon.
I want another F-Zero.
Yeah, F-Zero is fun.
I want one that is like identical to the original game.
Literally, like my main
If they did that, oh,
my main vehicle in Mario Kart is the Falcon Wing, whatever it's called. That's my vehicle that I choose, and my favorite map is the Captain Falcon one. Yeah. Alright, we can move on. Animal Crossing.
Alright. Now, Animal Crossing is the third game in here that I would consider a nostalgia. It was in the R4 card, if you remember that, on my DS. I got this, it was Animal Crossing New World, I think it was called. Once again, hours and hours into that. Going through my house, going through all this bullshit, getting all these fossils, catching all these bugs, catching all these fish, going to Blathers in the museum. Brewster in the fucking coffee. Best fucking shit ever. I just go down there and I just vibe with the fucking KK Slider and Brewster in the fucking underground little coffee shop, cafe. And every fucking Friday night or Sunday night, KK would be there. Just sit there and fucking listen. One of my favorite parts in New Horizons was like every Sunday KK would be there.
Yeah.
Come to the island and I just go listen to his music, and then he'd give me a track for free. Poggers, I can just put that in my house.
Yeah.
So to me, Animal Crossing is another massive nostalgia thing. One that I have many fond memories of. When I was way younger with my DS. The only reason I didn't talk about it before and wouldn't talk about it here is because I've played New Horizons for 300 fucking hours. I didn't play a single game between New World and New Horizons because it was not New World, Wild World is what I played.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't even remember playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
New Horizons was way more. First off, didn't have Brewster in the coffee shop, big, but it did have way more customization to it.
Wasn't Animal Crossing originally targeted towards stay-at-home parents?
I haven't the slightest fucking clue.
I think I've heard that somewhere before. It was mainly targeted towards like either stay-at-home mums with like the whole cuteness aspect of it.
You could be absolutely right, but I've no idea.
I feel like I've heard that somewhere, but I don't know. I've only played the new one because like that shit was blowing up even before the game came out, and I think just seeing like how many people cared about it is partially the reason I got it over just the amount of time someone told me to buy it, or just multiple people. Alex wasn't one of those people.
I don't run pissed to people that's playing a game that I'm not sure they'll like.
Yeah.
I'm not the person to play Animal Crossing. You see the fucking games I play, and I fucking played Animal Crossing for the rest of fucking hours. I don't do that. I don't play a single player game. I listen to play games here. I played completion at times when I didn't have access to Skype or Discord.
True.
It's where it was really the only choice. It
Yep.
was the console, and it wasn't playing with mates. Right? I don't play single player games because I just would rather play with people.
Yeah.
Even though Animal Crossing had this feature with people, I didn't play that with people.
I'll be honest.
Played by myself.
The way I view
I
that.
came to your island.
I came to your
people
island.
can come to my island, but they can't. You don't help. You don't have to help me. You can't terraform with me. You can't build people with me. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't do a shared island experience. That's bullshit.
You can dig the floor.
You can make a hole.
You
Congratulations.
can make a hole. I can fish. I can shake a tree.
You get fucking stung by bees, bitch.
I
I never got to the terraforming stage. No, I got to the terraforming stage, and that's where I stopped. Because at that point, I didn't really want to terraform.
I was
Everything
just.
started getting a bit more repetitive.
I'm just shit at Animal Crossing.
I know. What is it? Even though I haven't played the game properly for a year and 2 months, I still fucking love Animal Crossing New Horizons. That shit was poggers, wholesome. I'd call it a survival, but it's not a survival. You don't have to survive from anything except the wasps. Wasps, those pesky fucks. There is no survival. There's no trying to survive or anything. It's just let's make the community here. We're gonna make a community in this new place, start from scratch. You're not moving into a place. You're creating a place.
Yeah.
You're here to have all these people come here, and they're trying to have the time of life. They're here on a vacation that they're living on forever for some fucking reason.
How do I kick out a bunch of my chickens? I don't want them.
Every single one of the villages, par 1, fuck you, Lionel, don't give a fuck about you, I care about. I care about these fucking little fucks, right? I care about Renee, care about Louie, care about Apple, care about Midge, I care about Hopper, I care about even Anastasia and Kid, there's some of the newer Chris. I care about these little fucking shits. These animals that are just on the island to live in. I just like going up to them going like, hey, what's going on? What's his name? Ozzy. There's a koala on my island, Ozzy. What's going on, Ozzy? How you doing? He's like, I shat in a flower. Thank you, Ozzy. I love you. I love when it could be one of their birthdays. I go check out their birthday. They're having a fucking party. They only have one friend over, the lonely fucks. They're like, thank you for coming. You're welcome. Every Sunday, go to see KK. A bunch of us would just sit there and listen to his music. He performed live for us. Fantastic.
The seasons. Seasons is what they have seasons in the game.
They do.
And I'm also partially glad because it follows whatever season you are in the world, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like well you are married.
Because like I remember like there's been times where like some friends wanted to come over to my place to get some winter crap because it was winter here but it was summer there. So they just mooched off me for some shit.
I love that the seasons exist. You know, you could go, or you can only catch certain bugs at certain times because that's just how the bugs work. I love that kind of detail. I hate that I can't get some bugs.
My favorite aspect is the museum.
Oh yeah.
The museum in New Horizons is phenomenal because it's a truly fucking immersive experience.
Yeah, and they're adding a cafe to it soon.
Fuck yes. Brewster.
Yeah.
And what else? What else makes me fucking love this game so much?
I don't know.
Seeing it come from nothing and then you just all the effort you put in. Oh, and what's her name? You know the Able sisters?
Yes.
You know the one that would just sit in the corner and knit?
Yep.
I spoke to her every day for a month. Every day she would slowly open up to me and talk to me. Almost brought me to literally, shit, you know, almost brought me to tears when she started having conversations with me. Oh my fucking, because I cared.
Oh,
that's how fucking invested I was in this game. I go to her every day. You're like, hi, how are you today? And she's like, And I'm like, okay, see you tomorrow. Alright, and they would put into the game that she'd react every day.
What was your starting fruit on your tree?
Slices I've forgotten. Actually, I don't remember. Apples. No, Peaches. They were Peaches.
Oh yeah, it was Peaches, wasn't it? I think I remember this.
I put a peach in a flag carrier.
Oh. Oh. Jaya's flag is a peach?
Yeah.
I don't know. From my perspective, I just couldn't get into it as much as other people. I could only really play it for a little bit at a time, and the game required me to have more attention than what I wanted to give it.
I have schedules. I'd wake up early in the morning just so I could check out the prices for that morning.
Like, I am accustomed to.
So invested.
I'm accustomed to games where I have to grind the ever-loving shit out of crap, and it can be slow. But part of me found Animal Crossing very slow. Just like the way you talk to people, it's like there's no way to speed that up.
Well, no, you can't rush the social interaction.
Yeah, but
those things which you consider slow are things that I treasure. I love these conversations. I love
when
I walk around, I go and fucking hunt a bird, you know, and then Renee is there just fucking sniffing fucking buttholes or something. It's a horse. I don't know why I said that. And then she'd see me and she'd be like, look at that. And I'm busy hunting a fucking bug and she didn't interrupt me. And she wouldn't realize that I'm busy. She's just sitting next to me, all happy to see me. And I'm like, the fuck away from me, I'm hunting a bug. But then I stop hunting the bug and talk to Renee because I give a shit about Renee and what she has to say. And then she has to tell me that she found a new fucking flower up her ass.
What?
Like, why are you telling me this for? But I love it, it's great.
Yeah.
I can never think of wholesome examples. Why can't I think of wholesome examples?
I think what's made it fun for me is the updates. Swimming, diving. That was an update.
Diving is full of shit.
I just wish there
was...
was...
It ended up after I stopped playing, so I got back into it just to swim.
I wish there was more.
Stop playing after that. Good stuff. Fantastic feature. I love the art boat. The art boat would show up every once in a while.
Oh, I just hopped onto the art boat.
You want it now?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about why I can't play this game.
I was playing Smash when we were doing Smash 1. I played 2 games and got my ass beat.
I just bought a painting and then walked off.
What would you find more than one painting? And they might be fake too, the fucker.
Yeah.
And this game, you know what peak feature about this game?
Poison?
Auto saving. Rossetti doesn't exist in this game.
Oh yeah, you can just save it anytime. Yeah, right.
I don't need Rossetti. Rossetti doesn't come fuck me anymore.
Rossetti's a cunt.
Rossetti's absolute fucking cuntbag.
I have more experience with an old one called Let's Go City. That was the one I played the most. That one was on the Wii. But I've played a bit of the new one.
The New Horizons.
Right. Yeah.
I can understand. Like, I go to people's islands where they have fucking hours and hours and hours and fucking hours, way more than Alex.
Yeah.
And it's like,
because I stop at a certain point.
Jesus, how the fuck do you play this game for so long? Oh god.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you bother getting to that level?
How much time do you have? I'm still at fucking 1 star on my island because I don't care that much.
I got like 3 or 4.
But still, I see it as a good like filler game as well, where like I don't have to have like the online shit. I can just like play while I'm on the toilet or some shit. Or like if I'm traveling somewhere, I think it's a good just kind of filler game to just have playing. Because you can just mindlessly just do whatever the fuck you want to do. There's like a lot of choice and whatnot of what you want.
There are things you can do, but you don't have to. Did you ever get into turnips?
No.
See, I went into turnips. I got into the fucking economy. Got into the stock. I invest in stock.
I think I'm too behind to actually have turnips.
No, you just have to wake up on a Sunday morning.
Oh, Sunday. Oh, that makes sense.
You get up in the morning, and then there's this lady that shows up, and she fucks off at midday, and she's like, "Would you like turnips?" And then I'd be like, "Sure, give me 100 turnips for $3."
I'll be honest.
And she'd be like, "Fucking deal."
I'll be honest.
And then you go to the Nook store, and you're like, "How much can I sell turnip for?" And you're like, $4. I'm like, "Fucking bargain, let's go."
I only learned recently that I could expand my inventory.
You what?
I could expand my inventory.
Bro. What the fuck did you just say to me?
I learned recently that you can expand your inventory.
This game's been out for a year and a half, and you're just like this.
Yeah, because I don't pay attention.
It's worse than me not
thinking. How long did you take to figure out you could sprint?
Fucking 2 months, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
But it's been a year and a half.
Yeah, but 2 months of me playing the game. Like, I played it like twice in that time frame for like 15 minutes.
Excuse me.
Just random shit. Cause it's like, this is my first game, I don't know anything. No one told me anything, no one taught me anything. I just went in and played it. And it's not like there's a whole lot of proper instruction, it just kind of tells you like, oh, you should be trying to do this, you should expand your house, blah 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 blah. You have to pay me $1,700,000 for the expansion.
You go to Tom Nook and say, what should I do next? You go to Nook and he tell you what.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
That's your instruction.
Yeah, just construction shit. Just like whatever. I want to do my own thing. I don't want to listen to you. You're a greedy fucker. Takes all my money. This is my island. Everyone should be paying me tax. Where's my tax?
It's really not your island.
It's my island. I own it. It's mine. It's mine.
It's Tom's island.
No, it's mine. Fuck Tom. When I get paid, I'm the king of this island.
You're literally not. You're just.
I am the king. I created all their homes.
What am I here for?
It was.
What's in it for me?
Yeah, what's in it for me? I'm the king. I'm wearing an eggshell on my head. That is my crown. I am the king of this world.
Well, I've said all I wanted to say about Animal Crossing.
I started with cherries.
I started with peaches.
So Alex, Splatoon.
So now I have to play Splatoon. Oh god.
These games are not ranked. This list is not ranked by any means.
No, it's not.
Except for the first two. Here is number 2. It's always back and forth. Depends on what I'm playing at the moment. Is what my favorite game is. Currently, I'm playing Paladins, so that's a number 1. And it's also number 1 for the prime reason. For the prime time it was there. But Splatoon is another game I just fucking play hours into the night. Well, by myself, but it would be competitive this time. It's the only game I do actually treat competitively. Because when I go into his rank, no, I don't fucking play ranked on Paladins like that shit. I mean, I'll speak.
Oh, yeah, true.
Splatoon, I am good at. It's one of the only video games I can clean patch.
Debatable.
I am good at it. I'm in ranked A-. I'm in the A rank, bitch. It's good.
But it also depends on how you look at it, and depends how you qualify what is good. Because yes, you're good at it partially, but I feel like there's a lot of weapons you're not good at.
Oh no, no. I am good at the game. I'm not good at fucking some weapons.
The versatility of the game.
I'm not very versatile, but they don't ban weapons. They don't ban characters like in Paladins. You can play whatever you like in these games.
Yeah.
So what I'm good at, I'm good at, and I think I'm very fucking good at it.
I don't know, man. I beat you a few times.
You're welcome to test me on that in 1v1. It's not your shitty turf wars. Yep. You can keep arguing that. You can keep putting me down as much as like this is the only game I'm genuinely confident about my skill in. Okay. I fucking love Splatoon.
No, I'm just saying that
I love Rainmaker.
I'm just saying this.
I love original Splatoon.
What I'm saying is that there is a range to skill sometimes. Like you and I are both shit compared to the other Alex.
Oh yeah. He's a god.
And he's very versatile in weapons as well. And he knows his shit as well. It's like he looks at the weapon and it's like he knows what everything it can do. It's like what the fuck.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. He knows how to use it. He knows the fucking range of shit and whatnot. Even though like every weapon has like a different statistics. That's what makes
I
the
never
game more
said I was
interesting.
great. I just said I was good. But that's the highest rate of standard I've got.
Yeah.
I'm good at Splatoon. I fucking love Splatoon. One of the funnest experiences. You know how my gameplay is usually kill or die first?
Yeah.
Like kill or be killed, bonking extraordinary amounts of damage or I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I love Splatoon because the damages do way more damage than your health can possibly take. You got 5 health points and like 50 damage a shot.
Yeah.
Right, so you really go in and kill or be killed. I don't
One
know
of
why
the-
I like an incredibly low time to kill. Fucking love it.
Yeah.
In out, in out, in out. Constantly just filtering. I don't know. Maybe that's not why. That's why I didn't get into Smash very much. Because it's a high team time to kill.
Yeah.
And Paladin is pretty decent as well. You can melt a Yagrat, get the right character. I fucking love everything about the game. I love being a roller. I love the Kraken roller back in the first one. I love when I'd be cornered and then I'd be like, no, fuck you. You challenge me. No, I challenge you, bitch.
Yeah, but what if they ult you back?
There is nothing that could counter a Kraken.
Wasn't there?
Nope, a Kraken. Only thing that can kill a Kraken is falling off the edge. Same thing with like an invincibility stuff in Mario. The only way you can die is if
Like
you
there are some ults that like it depends on timing, right?
Oh, if you can,
like if
you
two
can
people
count
have
how
the
long
same
that Kraken will be
ultimate
there for.
and then they ult one after the other, usually the person who ults. Well, it depends
Later
like when.
if there's a Kraken, two Krakens versing,
Yeah.
the one who did it later will win.
Yeah.
Original game had the most overpowered fucking ultimate team.
Yeah.
Holy shit. They nerfed that to fuck in the second game, and that's fine by me.
But they
I
also
just don't play the Kraken anymore, 'cause
expanded
now
the
it's just a
game.
shit bumping
They
off.
also expanded the game a lot more in 2.
With even the Octo extension.
Yeah.
I don't play much. I didn't play the single player. It took me months to finish the single player in Splatoon 2.
That was like the first thing I did.
I just played for the game modes. And I got into them.
It was also so interesting.
It's the only game where it's the only time I go into ranked games and go like, I'm ready to fucking murder. I'm ready to wreck their ass.
Splatoon is a very interesting game. More for the aspect of how it was able to become a new face of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of admit that like it's a relatively very new game. It's very new. If I can remember when the day Splatoon came out, then fuck, that's a new game. And yeah, it has stood time where it has that childish nature.
Even though the first game was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
No one fucking had the Wii U.
I
mean, we had in Australia, everyone had it, but like worldwide.
Yeah. Did they not have a lot of Wii U's in worldwide?
No, that shit flopped.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
In general, it flopped. Advertising.
Oh. Why did it work so much here?
I don't know.
Maybe the Wii was just bigger here.
The only reason I think it worked here is because because I see articles or news about the Wii U flopping, or people talk about how the Wii U flopped, but the Wii didn't. And I'd be like, the Wii U flopped? Everyone I know has one. So I just came to the conclusion, it must have worked in Australia.
I don't think it actually did. I just think the people we know, the people we tend to be around would have gotten the Wii U. Yeah. But I don't think it actually, I think it flopped in general. Like, I think it flopped everywhere.
Wasn't that around the time as well, like the PS4 was coming out soon? Wasn't that around the time like PS4 was coming out or some shit? Or was it
out? Somewhat, but it was largely advertisement.
Yeah.
It was multiple things. It was advertisement, the fact that people didn't really know about the Wii U, and people who would see the Wii U would assume it's an add-on.
Yeah. I had honestly barely heard about the Wii U before actually getting a Wii U.
Our Wii broke, that's why we got the Wii U.
I still have both.
I knew of it, but I thought it was shit until I used it in at Jack's house. I'm like, hey, I like this.
But I still have a lot of fond memories of the Wii U, just playing some games, which I'll get into in my part. But
even though the Wii U did fail, the fact that Splatoon has become such a large franchise from that, it's no wonder they made a number 2 so quickly when the first game was for the Switch.
And then soon to be a third.
Because anyone who didn't have a Wii U wouldn't get one just to play Splatoon. But if this new console was coming out, which was clearly better by the looks of it, and there was a newest Splatoon game, everyone's going to buy Splatoon 2. And then they did.
Yes.
Splatoon 2 worked wonderfully. They're going to make Splatoon 3. I can't wait for that shit. I don't know anything about it, but I can't wait.
Well, I've seen it looks cool, but I still need to see more from it for me to purchase it. It's also such a
nothing, and it's already more than enough for me to purchase it.
It's also such a simple idea as well. It's just kind of like paintball-ish kind of thing, but it's more about like
fucking paint. You did a
just
fucking
covering
paint all the floor. That makes no sense. How are you gonna refill paint in the middle? Squids.
It's such a Japan thing as well. Squids. Who's the enemy? The octopus. The octopus is the enemy.
And then they have the dumbass fucking tournaments. Fucking ketchup versus mayo.
I have never lost a tournament.
I repeatedly lose.
I had never ever lost a tournament. Like the first one I think I remember was the Pokemon Red versus Blue, and Blue won. What ketchup versus mayo? I think I chose mayo and mayo won or some shit. I'm like, I never lose. And I just say I add nothing to these. I just pick a team and then I win. That was always fun.
Splatoon 2, specifically. Splatoon 1's fantastic as well. But Splatoon 2, for a long time is, and will remain at the top forever, one of my favorite, if not my favorite fucking game ever. I just fucking love how it works. Love all the game modes. Love it all. And I don't really know what more I could say to say it's good, because that's what I always say every time we're nearing the end. I'm just like, oh, I fucking love this game. What can I say? I don't know. It's fun.
Squids.
Sweet. And I suppose, do we have anything else we want to say about Splatoon? I'm trying to get back into it now.
I am becoming a blaster main.
You have tempted me to turn that game on again.
I've been playing it for the last week, right, properly.
I've been playing it every now and again. Every now and again.
Hello, Paladins. How are you doing today?
Hello, Paladins. It's time for Paladins.
Now, we've on this podcast, we've already spoken about all the bullshit that's before, all the negatives about it. I think because of that, I'm going to avoid those today. I'm going to talk about what I love about the game, or loved. If the features doesn't exist, I'm just going to express appreciation for when it did. For example, Survival. Survival was a fantastic game. Loved it. I feel like it's very quiet in here. What's happened?
I'm just thinking.
I'm letting you speak.
Yeah. I'm just thinking.
Oh, I don't want to just speak on myself.
Look, man. I'm just thinking because I'm just trying to think about reasons why I think the game is trash.
I think back in its day, as a game, I think I quite loved it.
No.
I loved that even it was buggy and shit, the community would still be nice, small, and niche. People still get to talk, the developers would listen. The characters and game modes, everything felt personal, everything. We felt like we were part of that community, because to them, we were. All these different characters, all these different personalities, all these different abilities, created such diversity that you could fit any playstyle. And if that playstyle was just slightly not what you were into, there would be different cards, different legendary cards, talents now, which would let you change the playstyle of that character to maybe fit your thing. I fucking love Bomb. In the current lore of what Paladins is, Bomb King does not fit. They've changed the Ruckus to be more like a miner with that kind of theme. They've changed how Barrack looks. They've changed what Victor looks like. But Bomb King does not fit at all in even the slightest. There's never been any mention about Bomb King lore outside of his own lore. I think he does not connect with any single person in lore, and I fucking love it. There's 49 characters that all fit together in some way. That guy has attention to this guy plays this role, this guy did this, and Bomb King's just there. Bomb King's just a walking bomb that pisses people off, and then he kills those people. I don't know why I love that so much. That they tried to make this new lore, make everything work for it, and then Bomb King here just does not fit, and they can't remove him because he's a fan favorite character. Excuse me. I don't know why I love that so much, but I do. Fucking I started character.
Well, with Paladins, we've talked a lot about Paladins before, and one thing I will say about Paladins is, I don't think I can play it without other people around. Because if it was like just me, like there have been multiple times where I've just like played it by myself, even before like we all kind of slightly got back into it, and my brain processing that was just like, I can't play this. I played one game and that was enough. I can't do this for longer than that. I think it's the people and the friends that more made the game for me than anything else. Because there are tons and so many better games you can play than Paladins. But it was definitely the more kind of just playing with your friends aspect of Paladins that made the game better for me over anything else.
You play with mates, and you get like a triple kill. I'm like, oh, let's play the game, let's play. And everyone else in the game,
it's partially a little bit addictive,
would try to like, okay, it's a triple kill. Let's try and get better than that. Let's try and get play instead.
Yeah. We'll play.
No,
We'll play.
I've already literally started this conversation with, I'm going to appreciate the good things, even if they don't exist anymore.
We'll play. I don't remember play ever existing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nah, that never was.
It never existed. Never existed. No.
Even it was buggy as fuck. They never would actually have playback. They just put bots in the same position as us to do the same things as us. So it would always be buggy as fuck. But I love seeing that. I love playing all these characters. I love every new character I love waiting to staying up to 3 AM watching their 1 hour stream of bullshit I could have read online the next day. I like seeing Rain Day and Pretty Hair do absolutely fucking bullshit. Love Pretty Hair. I loved his hair.
I think I got his voice pack. I got him and Rain Day.
You know, I never.
I don't think I have him. I got a bunch of voice packs, but I don't think I have them. You got the Bomb King Nuts pack, which is a different voice actor, but whatever.
No, I have nothing else to say about Paladins.
You have nothing good to say about
Paladins.
Paladins.
Say that.
I said something good about it.
You said something good about your friends being there to play it.
Yeah. What's your point? I said there were better games.
I'll probably elaborate more on it when it comes to when it's on my list. But one thing I would say is, I mean, during its prime, I genuinely thought Paladins was better than Overwatch, despite Overwatch having a significantly higher budget. It was more stable. It was
everywhere
looked better. It just, I think Paladins had a much better core concept when it came to cards and those sort of mechanics. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
which I just thought worked so well and was done so well.
I'd love every month or two, a new character would show up and we'd be like, fuck yeah. 12 Volt was new, he'd wreck everyone's dick. Inara was new, no one liked her. Because none of us knew how to play it.
Everyone was complaining about me playing the worm.
The what?
The worm.
New fucking worm character.
Yeah, it's a boss. It's like a boss-like champion, but it's not hard to beat if you know what you're doing.
I've actually been getting into Dredge recently. I finally figured out how he works properly. Listen, he is a Yagarath melter. You think Imani can do it with her ability? No, he could do it with his primary fire. Holy shit.
But Tyra's still the worst.
Not entirely, yeah.
Tyra just melts Yagaraths. Dredge. My pilot! Send the harpoons!
Even everything I could say about the lore. If I remove all my souls and everything that happened with it, I do actually quite like the lore they go with now.
I just can't bother with the lore.
I don't really go into it too much.
Yeah.
I don't really care to. And I like the new character teasers. I like the way they've changed the animation style, similar to Spider-Man Into Spider-Verse with a little bit less frames. I actually like the way they're doing animation now. They did the 3D, and that was always shit. You'd always have Dead Victor. They tried 2D. 2D was actually alright. Then the Chinese did one of them, and that was like the best 3D I've ever seen them do. And now they're doing something like Spider-Verse with that kind of choppy 3D, a very intentional style. I quite like it. As much as I don't give a fuck about Octavia, I like her teaser was
I have a very good thing to say about it.
Ooh, you've got a thing.
Yes. The voice actors and the people in it come from Sabbath's thing. Sabbath's company.
The Sabbath's fucking...
Yeah, they do the voice. that's the good thing I'm talking about. It comes from Sabbath's company because Sabbath's a fucking Chad. Yeah. We're going to talk more about Paladins later, I assume.
Yeah.
So I might as well just move on.
Oh, well, that's on my list. My number Paladins, at least especially in its prime, is currently, and maybe forever, unlikely forever. I'm only 20.
What a loser. What a loser.
20. Anyway,
you're not even the oldest one here.
I don't give a fucking 12 days older than me.
He is, isn't he? My list.
Yeah, so Paladins, number 1. On par with Splatoon, and then everything else, I love it. Splatoon, Animal Crossing, when I played that last year, was like, oh, this is my new favorite game ever now. Nope. Up there, nope.
It became my turn now, Alex.
I didn't give a fuck.
It's my turn now.
I didn't finish my wrap up. I wanted to wrap up my list. I didn't do it yet.
Ow.
You just said let's move on. Fuck you. Anyway, that was my wrap up.
We're going in an S for swibbing and swerving. We're going in an S for swibbing and swerving. Alright, my turn. Starting us off with Super Mario 64.
I played this game.
You did?
I haven't played this game.
Oh, I thought you said you had. What?
I played one of these games.
The whole reason I kind of put Mario here was just I felt like there was a lack of Mario on anyone's list.
True, maybe I should have put New Super Mario Bros. On there.
Yeah, so I felt like I needed to put one on here. I have a lot of games that I really like. Caleb took some of them. And I didn't want to double up too much.
Me.
I am blaming you. But I felt like I really needed to put a Mario game here, and what better than just such a great game is Super Mario 64. I never had the what was it on?
64.
Nintendo 64, yeah, right. I'm being dumb. Yeah, I've never had. The first time I played it was on the DS. Like, you could play on DS, and like even just replaying it nowadays on like that 3D 3-pack for the Switch was just so much fun. And it's just, I don't know, Mario's just so classically good. But this was really the beginning of like that 3D level, and I think I've enjoyed more of the 3D games than any other Mario games. Like Sunshine, Mario Galaxy 2, the fucking cat one. Even though it is a furry, the cat one's still very fun. Compared to like
was it?
Yeah. Odyssey is fun, and I think I just really loved all the 3D games, or the way they move and stuff from Mario. It just works so well. And again, like, I just needed to put a Mario game down because no one had one. I'm thinking we gotta put one down, surely.
I just went to check. I do indeed have Super Mario 64.
On the 64?
For this N64.
Oh.
I don't have an N64 console, so I just played it captured.
Of course.
On my shelf. But I've got Super Mario the original game, or the one on the NES, and I've got All Stars, but I don't think it works. Either it doesn't work, or the console I'm using doesn't like it.
Oh.
Either those two facts are true.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Cal, have you played Super Mario 64?
No, I've actually not.
He hasn't. I find that surprising.
I'm not a big. I've never been a fan of Mario. The games have never really taken me in.
Well, like I said, I think the only ones that have taken me is the 3D ones.
The only one. I mean, I've played a bit of Galaxy. If I'm gonna proper go through a Mario game again, like Galaxy or Sunshine.
Yeah.
But other than those two,
Galaxy
I
and Galaxy 2.
I couldn't give a fuck. Even Mario Kart, I fucking don't like Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Even though I'm always made to play it for some reason.
Because it's the only real.
There's a reason I don't own Mario Kart
racing game
on my Switch.
Super Mario 64. I'm just trying to think. The bosses, the worlds, the openness to it. I don't know. Words. There was a challenge. Yeah, that was one thing. That was, I think, one reason why I put Super Mario 64 over all of them was the fact that it felt more challenging than a lot of more of the newer ones. Like whatever that furry one was, the cat one, that was quite easy.
I mean, at the time it was such a new style. It was such a new gameplay style. 3D wasn't. 3D was just sort of becoming a thing. They sort of had sort of 3D on the SNES.
Yeah.
But they weren't as good.
Yeah. Mario.
64 was the birth of like
3D platforms.
D.
Yeah. Well, I have nothing more to say about Mario, honestly. I just really want to...
I'm not talking about this right now. If I talked about the consoles, it would be forever, but yeah.
I think Mario is just one of those...
9x9 of consoles win.
Mario has a lot of games, but if you're going to play any of them, play the 3D ones, please. There are a lot of good 3D ones. Or the original.
I mean, the original 2D platformer game is pretty good.
I've been playing it more recently on the Switch because it's in like a free pack or whatever.
The ones on the Wii and shit now.
There was that like 3-pack of Mario games I was meaning to buy.
Oh, I've also got fucking Mario Maker, but I've played very, very, very little of it. But
I don't enjoy kind of like the whole creating your own thing aspect. Obviously, you can play other people's maps, but it's like I kind of like enjoyed like the story and pushing forward. And Odyssey was a really good one for the whole open world aspect, where it didn't even register to me like I was like in a fucking level. I was just in a new place, a new area, a new open worldness. I could become a T-Rex.
Did I play Paper Mario?
I played a Paper Mario at someone else's house.
No,
it was good.
From
the little amounts I played, it was pretty good.
Maybe I did. I feel like I did.
Paper Mario? That was on the Wii, wasn't it? I feel like it was on the Wii.
Yeah, I think I played the original.
A Wibble.
Yeah. I can't remember which one it was.
No, I'm just gonna move on to another Nintendo game. Breath of the Wild.
Here's one I've played. A bit of. Not completed, but a bit of.
I'll be honest. This was probably my first proper playthrough of any Legend of Zelda game. And I can understand why people love Legend of Zelda. Of course, other games are nothing like Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild was something completely different. Especially with how the open worldness to it. The expansion of just fucking going off. And it's still just such a...
Apologies, I'll be back.
I feel like it's still such a big game, even now. Because it was one of the games that came along with the Switch, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I bought it.
I got it switched out for Splatoon 2, lol.
That's when you bought it. Splatoon 2 didn't even come out when I had the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
But it did exist, and because it was such a cool, fascinating game, I just had to play it. And I completely understand now why people... And it's even gotten me interested in other Legend of Zelda games. Like I have a friend who's a real big fan of Legend of Zelda, and like they tell me all these different things. I'm like, yeah, I'll just go by my own. Like, and then like from this game, I went on to go play like the original on an emulator. It was interesting, to say the least. And then I went back to play a game that I actually had, but I never got into it as much, and that was Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. Which was, again, a great game, but it's like, damn, man, damn. I never knew what I was missing out on until I played this game, and I feel it's definitely a game that has opened up a new path for Nintendo as well, in the fact that, like, anytime you see a Nintendo game be open world, you just think, Legend of Zelda? Legend of Zelda? Legend of Zelda? Breath of the Wild? Breath of the Wild? Is that right? We're getting Pokemon Legends Arceus. What? They've been inspired by Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild.
It's like,
See, he wasn't even here listening to that, and he said that.
See? Yeah. But it's such a great game. The boss fights, the different things, the way like you could customize, you can get clothes, get new tools. Me holding a spoon, collecting resources, selling, eating, cooking, having horses, taming horses. There's so much to explore and just enjoy, and it's such a good game, such a fucking fantastic game. Caleb, anything to say about Breath of the Wild?
Nah, not really. It is what it is. I haven't played it enough, I think, to give a good assessment of it. It was alright when I played it.
But even so, like I could go I've been in the game once, and like I just reset the game because I'm like, I don't want to create a new save. I want to delete this one and go about things a bit differently, to the way like I know things better. So I want to go through it better, and I'm like partially way through it, but it's just like you can just spend hours and hours, and you can just play it for the sake of playing it, and you can really just kind of adventure, explore, battle, create, get new shit, level up, find all those stupid tower things to get your fucking heart levels up, so you can actually fucking rip out the Master Sword. There's so much to enjoy of this game, and it definitely feels like a game that has just randomly just appeared. It's like it just appeared on like the top 10 video games of all time or whatever list sometimes. That's what it kind of feels like.
That's fair.
Yeah, which is very fair. I needed to talk about this game because it's something that is getting me into Legend of Zelda more. Actually, like this actually wasn't actually my first Legend of Zelda game. No, my first Legend of Zelda game was on the Wii U, and it was only partially Legend of Zelda. It was the Hyrule Warriors game. That was the first time I ever played a Legend of Zelda game, and it got me partially interested, but not enough to look into other games. And like with Breath of the Wild, it's like, fuck, man, now I want to play. Now I want more games. No, fuck. And I want to play what was it? Skyway Sword. I want to play the fucking Toon Link one. What's that? But yeah, it's definitely a lot more of a newer game than anything else on my fucking list. Holy shit. Oh god. But now, it's time to move past Legend of Zelda, because Alex has nothing to say.
Of course not. I got nothing to say on almost all of it.
And the only person who is the least fan of Star Wars has a Star Wars game. Lego Star Wars. Going back to the nostalgia trip, and of course it's a Lego game. I feel like I have played better Lego games, but I had to push.
I mean, it was the original.
Yeah, it was the original, and it was the first one I played. So I had to put it here. And I'm so looking forward to the Skywalker Saga as well, coming 31st of December. I'm looking forward to playing that game, because Lego games are just so much fun. And this was kind of a bit where I did want to talk about other Lego games that I didn't mention prior, when we were looking at the superhero ones, because I was just talking about superheroes a bit. But like back then, like, this was really the start, and it really created this boom of just different Lego games. There was Pirates of the Caribbean. There was Indiana Jones. Batman Lego, of course, was coming out back then as well. At the beginning, and that led into the superhero ones, where we have like 3 different Marvel ones and like 5 different DC ones. Of course, there have been more Lego games for Star Wars as well, and it was just fun to explore, play the games, the story, blah 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 blah. And there were just some that I missed, and I've gone more back into Lego games as of late because the puzzle, the way I can just play it by myself, I don't really need other people to be around. And one game I really wanted to talk about as well, which I was also considering putting here as well, was a very fun game, which for Lego as well, was Lego City Undercover, where you are actually playing in just a Lego city. It is massively open world, and you're playing as a cop who goes undercover as various jobs and tries to thwart a crime syndicate or whatever. And there's just so much to do and so many different things that you can play, you can ride, you can get. And there's just, Lego games are always just that fun game that you can just go in, play your heart's content, win. And then you just see all the shit that you have access to. It's just great. Also Star Wars Lego lightsaber, go boom boom. Go boom boom, go boom boom, go boom boom. I have the Force. That's how I build with Lego. I have the Force. I don't need to build. I have the Force. Speaking of, why do I feel like that later today I'm gonna open the Xbox, plug in the disc, and just play Star Wars Lego.
For me, I remember because I remember first playing the original game.
Yeah.
And then I remember getting the second one. And then I remember, I can't remember where I saw it or wherever, but I heard that there was going to be the game, they're releasing the one where it was both. And then I got the third one. I think for me, that was the first time I remember a game coming out. Like me wanting to get a game that was coming out. Either it had come out or it was coming out.
Yeah. And
just the memories of me wanting that so badly and then getting it simply because I like the idea of having fucking Qui-Gon Jinn and Han Solo Dean in the same level. I just thought that was really, really fucking cool.
I think I only played the first 3 Lego Star Wars games. After that, I did not play any of them. But I'm really excited to go back into it because it's partially for me nostalgia trip back to like one of the first games I ever played.
I mean, it's not the same. It's not the same,
but it's much more expansive, and that's why I'm partially excited for it. Like, I remember, like, the only place like you can really go at the beginning section is a fucking little shitty bar. That's about it.
Oh my god, all those levels, man! I remember looking it up.
The racing level
of the second game's hub, and that was that was a nostalgia hit. I remember all. I remember all. That they were just. I remember just so many memories of those games.
Another one I had a lot of fun with is the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings Lego games.
Yeah,
those were
I didn't get
fun
very far in the Lord of the Rings one, and I've never picked up the Hobbit one.
There's Harry Potter as well.
Yeah, those ones. I've played both of those ones.
I think a newer one ish is one I've never not played is the Incredibles Lego game.
Yeah.
Like they have, and there's also
I was gonna get it, but I hadn't watched Incredibles 2 at that point, so I didn't get it. But now
there's also Lego Jurassic World, which I think was interesting.
Oh, that's actually good. I want to play more of that. I remember playing it once, and it was actually good. But yeah, I just haven't gotten around. Fucking hell, Lego Incredibles. I mean, I get it's new, but mamma mia, that is expensive. $56.
Wait, is this the Incredibles or Jurassic Park?
Incredibles.
Okay.
No, Jurassic Park is cheaper.
Jurassic World, sorry, it's not Park.
Jurassic. It's $30. That's fair.
Yeah.
It was cool because you could become the dinosaurs and you could get you could become dinosaurs.
Lego games are fucking timeless. Like I've definitely gone like out of like having Legos as a kid and whatnot, and just playing with Legos. But Lego video games, fun as fuck. And I think partially as well, like I have a lot of fond memories because like I wouldn't play alone sometimes. Like I played through Batman Lego and Batman Lego 2 with my brother. Like all the whole way through that game, and like we kind of just set out a little time where we could just play together. Obviously, I don't play a lot with my brother anymore. He's a stupid adult, and I'm dreading but turning 20 soon. I don't know how you two feel about being 20. I'm not yet, but I don't know. There's so many Lego games that you can play, and each one offers like a different aspect to it. And now that I'm talking about, I just thought about a different Skylander type game. What the hell is wrong with me? Because I was thinking about The Incredibles, right? And I'm thinking, didn't Disney have like their own version of Skylanders?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that game called?
Disney Infinity.
Disney.
Was? I think so.
Disney Infinity?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was, wasn't it? Oh god.
Yeah. I had either 1.0 and 3.0, or I had 2.0 and 3.0.
Oh yeah, I had 2.0.
I had the first one. I remember that.
But I never got into it as much as Skylanders. I don't own a single amiibo. I just only give a shit about Skylanders.
I own a few.
I own none of them because I gave them away to my cousin.
I see Samus up there.
Oh, I never actually bought an amiibo at all. Never bought an amiibo.
I just get them for decoration. I never use them.
I never saw the attraction of amiibos.
Oh, honestly, playing Skyrim, because Skyrim on the Switch you can put amiibos and they give you loot. And I think if you have Link and you use the amiibo on Skyrim Switch, it gives you the Master Sword.
Yeah.
Which is quite fun.
Well, this was how I got most of my Star Wars knowledge at the beginning. Was me playing Star Wars Lego.
Did you get spoiled that Darth Vader was Luke's spoiler?
I got spoiled, but from that before I played the game. Okay. Yeah. Lego games just fun as fuck. I think we should move up one. This was a weird
the
one.
games just completely ignore your suspension of disbelief. Like, okay, you're fighting the Statue of Liberty now.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Oh, it was it freaked me out in the open world of that game, of Marvel Avengers, where the Statue of Liberty would wink at you. The first time I noticed that, I shit myself. I actually shit myself. I'm like, oh god, no. Because I'm like, hey, because I was with my brother at the time. I was like, the fuck just up? That am I going crazy? That just moved. And then my brother did not believe me at all until it happened again. I'm like, oh god. And he didn't see it the second time. I'm like, no, damn it, look.
You're about to start a fucking Ninja Storm 4, and I'm like, hang on, the Statue of Liberty.
The Statue of Liberty, goddamn. I had to make sure when I was playing Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 to make sure that statue did not blink. I stood there for 5 minutes watching it. It doesn't blink though, thankfully. Naruto Ninja Storm 4. I put it here more for... It was my first anime game, and I love anime games. There are a lot of good anime games. But Storm 4 is the thing that got me into games, and I still love going back, playing it, for the just amount of characters it has. It has a huge roster of characters. You have the story mode, of course. You also have other things, like you can go back and you can wander around like the Hidden Leaf Village and stuff.
This is a fully interactive Leaf Village?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I've never played this game.
It's very good. And like, definitely I think the fighting, this was the first time I actually learned that fighting games can be more than just 2D platformers.
Oh yeah, true.
And I really love the fighting style and how they did it in Storm 4. And it's like, if I'm going to play a fucking fighting game, I want to play Storm 4 over anything else. Just because I love... And there's so many characters as well like I love. I can just play fucking Toby Rama and just go bang, bang, bang. I main Neji and Shisui. And even like the dual team-ups like with Itachi and Shisui was great. And there's just so much...
Oh yeah, when you pair up with an ultimate with other characters, that's fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah, it's really cool. And then you have other characters like Anoki and he just fucking has the force.
I love Anoki.
Or you have Nagato with all the powers of the pain, which is always fun to play.
He's old school.
There are so many characters, and like if you're a Naruto fan, especially, you would love Storm 4. I've played Storm 3. It was good, but like Storm 4 was really the one that kind of updated it a bit more, and like the fighting was a little bit more fluid. And ever since then, I've loved Bandai Namco. To the point where
I wish they made more anime games like Storm 4.
Yeah.
There was a My Hero one that works like Storm 4.
Yeah, but that's more bad. But the thing with that was like, it's not the same because there's more of a story mode in the proper thing. The other one's just like, okay, fight, and it has such a smaller roster of characters compared to Naruto.
There's a Demon Slayer one now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The Naruto one, any character that is of some note
or importance,
some noteworthiness, they will be in that game.
Yes. Hanzo's in the fucking game. Who the fuck remembers Hanzo? I do, but that's not the point.
I don't.
The Samurai's also in the game.
Yeah, he is.
Oh fuck.
There's so many characters in the game. You have child versions. You have reanimated versions of characters. You have like tuning exam versions.
Is Menma Uzumaki in the game?
No.
Naruto is though, right?
Yeah. I think he's a skin.
I think he's a skin, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and still to this day, the best ult, Aruka Sensei.
Oh my god, yes.
He has the greatest ult. It's also such a simple style, which I'm glad that it doesn't take me long to remember how to control shit.
It's very simple.
It's a lot more simplistic than other games I've played. And like,
I just got my dick handed to me by fucking Zero Suit Samus.
Like Bandai Namco, they fucking just stole my money from any other thing as of late, just for the means of anime games. Other ones of note that I've played from Bandai, One Piece, the red one, the deluxe edition. I did the story mode. Alex helped me with it, and we played it together.
I have no idea what the game is called. It's just a One Piece game, and I played it so.
I want more One Piece games because I know like I still have not played Pirate Warriors 4, and I really want that game. I have not played Kakarot, but I might play soon. Kakarot. But I have played like other direct. Xenoverse 2 is a great game. Xenoverse 2 is a great game. Xenoverse 2 is really fun. Fighter Z, it goes back to like that 2D fighting game, like Street Fighter type of shit, but with fucking key. I don't know. Jump Force. Sad. Yeah. I don't know.
In my opinion, the best game that at least I've played from Bandai Namco is probably Fatal Bullet.
Yeah.
Just because I think it executes it executes having the anime world but also creating its own stories so well. It's not just like, here, you create your own character but you're following the story of everyone else. No. You create your character and this is your story. Everyone else is just there. Yeah. And they have their own story. They're doing their own thing, but it doesn't take away from there's your own sort of characters that are only really relevant towards you. There's your own villains. I think that's the way it executes that is potentially, in my opinion, the best way you could do it, and I wish more anime games did that, where you just create your own character and it's your story. You go about the world in your own way, and it makes it much more memorable than if it's just copy what has been done before.
But definitely, like, it's simply more for the fighting aspect of the game. That's the whole reason why it was able to make my list. Like, me sitting there thinking, like, what games have I played a lot? And then it's like, okay, what games do I really like some aspects of? And this was more about the way you can fight. And it was definitely the game that got me more into Bandai Namco games. Or even just anime games in general. Like, I have the Black Clover game, and I have the DLC for Julius, Nova Chrono, and Merilo.
Yeah, there is a Black Clover game, eh?
Yeah, I have that game. I haven't spent a lot of time in the game because I haven't had a lot of chance to play it. But still. There are a lot of Dragon Ball games though that you can play. There are a lot of Dragon Ball ones.
A lot of Dragon Ball.
There are a lot of Dragon Ball ones. It's ridiculous. Moving on. We're back to Minecraft. Pigs. We're back to pigs. Minecraft. So a big aspect for me that we didn't touch on before, I touched on a little bit of the whole multiplayer aspect, and I know Caleb might talk more about it, but modding!
Yeah. I'm gonna go on a big rant about modding.
Yeah. I won't go too deep into it, it's just, for me, I love the idea of modding something, in Minecraft especially, because it's already such an open world game, and the one aspect that's such a great thing on Minecraft is you can go back to older versions of the game. You can go back to the fucking original one and play that. Like when chicken just looked like ducks or whatever it was. Or they didn't exist, or I don't know, I don't remember. But still, there's so much that you can just do and have access to in a Minecraft game, and the way other mods can even complement each other, and there can be like extensions from pre-existing mods by other people because they understand how the mod works, so they just add shit in, like there's a superhero one, and you can get extensions for like other superheroes that might not be in the official version and whatnot. Like, there's so much, like me having a fucking mini map. Oh god, I need the fucking mini map. Give me the mini map, man. That's all I want. Oh, I need the mini map. Yeah, and definitely Pixelmon. Pixelmon was definitely the thing that I think got me into Minecraft the most, because like I had been watching like YouTube videos of Pixelmon all the way back when it was first, like, kind of Pixelmon, like the first version of Pixelmon. Like back, that was like, oh, like all the skins were like horrible and shit, but like it was still open world Pokemon. It's the thing like I had always wanted, and we're getting it possibly soon. But still, there's so much fun and to be held in Minecraft, and still a lot of those aspects, again, memories, playing with friends and whatnot. Even me just playing in a solo world when I was younger, there was a little bit of that connection, but like there was always this missed opportunity of me wanting to play more with friends than anything else. And even once we got into like friends, and like we got to play more and more, and we just got to meme, and there's just so many fun times playing Minecraft, and it's also just so easy. Like, and I can understand why so many people are Minecraft YouTubers, because it's just easy and you can open it up to do whatever you want, especially with how the game operates. Like, you can partially roleplay in the game, you can change your skin anytime you feel like it, especially especially me. You can match with people anything you want. You
Remember
can create your
when
own
I was
skin.
flipping your Bartolomeo? You didn't play for it?
You're a fish senpai! But yeah, there's just so much to Minecraft, and it's one of those games I feel like I can understand like how kind of people fell out of it, because like we were a big target of Minecraft when it was kind of like being updated around that 1.8 kind of set and stuff. And I can see how like we were partially targeted, but then I can see like through like peer pressure and around it, like Minecraft isn't cool, it's for kids, blah blah. But no, you can still make it and do whatever you want, and there's still so much fun to be had with friends and whatnot. just because you grow older, that doesn't change the fact that you're still a dumbass. Alright, that's my spiel about Minecraft. That's how I want to end. You full dumbasses. Alright, moving on. Ooh, my version of a racing game. Fuck Mario Kart. F-Zero. Yeah, I love Captain Falcon, but that's not the point. Crash Bandicoot. My original racing game. As well as like Crash Bandicoot was over Mario in my house growing up. I had a lot more Crash Bandicoot playing than Mario or Sonic or Mega Man, I guess. Of the big genre, I don't know. But Crash Bandicoot definitely was one of the bigger aspects. And the reason I put Crash Tag Team Racing is because it's just I had a lot of fun playing like with my brother and whatnot. Just like, oh, we just joined together our vehicles and create like this cool new thing. We're just fucking blasting. And then you can just be a bitch at the end and say, fuck off, I'm gonna detach from you and come first while you come second, bitch. Just screwing someone over. As well as the lobby and hub of the game as well. Where like you could enter these different like amusement park worlds and you had to like travel and kind of platform your way to like the next racing level, which was also more fun because it felt more like a Crash Bandicoot game. The way you could change your skin and me becoming Crash Bandicoot Indiana Jones in the game. Even free play, like having like little different battle games that are so unique to just Crash Bandicoot alone. I don't know. Also, Nitro's a meme. I don't know. This is my favorite racing game. I have the original, but it's still not the same as this game, or even just me in the loading screen. Because in the loading screen, you can do this special thing. Because it's just a picture of Crash, and it's just kind of like a wheel that's loading and whatnot. And in the game, in this loading screen, you can press the A and the B button, and you know what they do? You can fart and you can burp. So I just spam the burp button or the fart button every time I'm in it because it's just mindless nonsense. Because like it makes you more like I don't actually have to think about the game's loading. I just fart. Burps. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun with the game. I played a lot. I even had it on like it was probably even the first game I had on multiple devices because I had it on the Xbox and then I had it on the PlayStation, the PSP, sorry. Which was also fun just to play a handheld because it just worked as well. Yeah, that's my spiel about Crash. Crash be crashing into your panties. I'm the only one here who's really played a Crash Bandicoot game, is that right?
I've played some of one on a DS, I don't remember, probably on the R4. It was fun, but you know, I don't fucking shit.
Yeah. This was one of the games that added that bit of nostalgia and kind of thing, because I knew I had to put a Crash Bandicoot game down, because it's just so good. Now we're going into like the elites, right? This is like the elite section for me. This is the elite. And starting us off, Batamanu, the Arkham games. And Caleb can talk a lot about Arkham games as well, which is good. And he doesn't have it on his list.
Nah, other games beat it out, unfortunately.
But you can still talk about it because it's here on my list. Yeah. If you haven't gathered, I am a big DC Comics fan.
You are?
Yeah.
Bruh, actually?
Yeah, I know, it's amazing, right? You will have never guessed.
I actually really like Marvel Comics.
Oh, go fuck yourself then. But Batman is just this character, like, he's always been that character who's just a household name. And simply for the fact that he's just kind of a man. Yes, he may dress like a bat, but again, like, even just the way, like, you would want more character games from this kind of company, because this trilogy of games and how they evolved over time from being in the asylum to opening up the city a bit and then to actually fully roaming the city in your own Batmobile fucking racing. You have Scarecrow in the final part. Joker. Even just the side story of the Joker throughout each of the parts was brilliant.
Mark Hamill.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know how many hours I've spent running over the guys in the Batmobile. What I'd do is I'd put it into tank mode, and I would slowly go up behind them, and they'll be running away because obviously it's a fucking Batmobile.
It's a Batmobile tank.
Slowly push into them so that they would get hit by the electricity surrounding the car, and it'd be very funny. Or sometimes I would push them into I'd be out of the Batmobile, but I'd push them into it so they'd get electrocuted. I don't know how he killed a lot of people in that game. I don't know what else to tell you. It says they're unconscious. They're not. They're dead. You know.
But the story, there are some levels in kind of like the story mode where it's like that I just love, like when he's finally confronting himself as a Joker, and all those Jokers are kind of just coming in, and you have to beat the shit out of every single one of them for a time.
Where it's like you're playing from the perspective of the Joker.
Yeah.
Right, and you're in the first person mode, and then you just see these statues of Batman just appear everywhere.
Yeah.
And closing in on you. That's a really I like it.
The whole mystery of the Arkham Knight and how that story unraveled, that was good as well. Definitely, like there was just so much you can do, and it's kind of like the perfect iteration of this is what Batman is. This is who he is. And I think there is no other game that I think has done this quite well, where they're taking something else and showing people this is what it consists of. You don't need to go read the comics. You don't need to go watch the movies or whatever. You can just play the game. And it was that aspect that I just really loved, because it really showed you the scope of who Bruce Wayne is, who Batman is, and the way like him and his villains kind of operate together, and how they kind of shape Gotham and to what it becomes. I think it's just a great game. If you haven't played it, highly recommend. I love going back playing Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Knight, because they're just so great. And even just like going out, like I had the DLC version of some shit as well, where it's like I could play Adam West Batman, which was funny.
In Catwoman in City, that was so good. Because in Night I was a bit disappointed. You can't become her whenever, but in City you could just switch out.
You could switch out
and everything else. Her mission in City was banger. That was awesome.
I just loved playing Adam West Batman. It was the main reason I loved playing that version was because like everything's like dark around you, right? It's all a grim city. The city's in collapse, right? And you just Adam West Batman. You're just this light. You're just this bright Batman. He's like, hey, Adam West dancing Batman. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Because I had like a DLC for Arkham Knight as well. Like, there's so many the side missions as well, doing all that crap. The Batmobile was definitely a great thing to have in that world. Traveling to the different parts of Gotham, the different kind of like over the bridges, because it's a lot like New York, how it has like different like Manhattan and whatnot, and Brooklyn, blah blah blah, whatever. And I just loved Arkham Knight so much. There is a very similar game that I kind of contest to me playing around the same time that is on your list, and we'll get into that later. But I just love the series. I do wish that there were more games like this for superheroes. I have other DC superhero games that have also influenced me over time. Like how Alex had his Marvel games that were beginning of him. I actually had more DC games when I was playing as a young kid. So that's also an interesting fact.
I think I had a balance. Because I had a Marvel game, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. Actually, no, I probably did have more DC, because I had Arkham Asylum and City.
I think they were just generally more...
But I had a Spider-Man game as well.
I had Spider-Man games, but like Spider-Man's like his own like kind of love. I want It's called Justice League Heroes. That was one of the games I played a lot as a child. I played Justice League Heroes a lot as a child on the PS2, and even even when they got like Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, that was fun. That was great.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with Gotham Knights.
Yeah. Which
is the new one that's coming out.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see how that turns out.
Yeah.
It looks good. It looks different, but in a way that I like how it's different in the sense that it's not the same as Arkham.
No.
Right, but they're doing something similar but different, and makes me interested.
But you can also understand why they haven't chosen a different character to do, because it's incredibly hard to do anyone else. If you do Superman, you have to nerf him to the ever-loving shit. The Flash, you have to nerf him. Green Lantern, that's just insane.
You have to nerf him.
Wonder Woman, I think, would be a good one. The only thing is, I don't think the interest is as there as Batman would be. Because Batman, everyone.
I'll tell you what could work. Iron Man. And here.
Nah, I want more DC. Fuck Marvel.
The reason Iron Man could work is because if you made a part of the gameplay being you have to upgrade your suit.
I mean, the closest thing is that Spider-Man game, but Spider-Man games have been around a lot longer, and like they're the only like Marvel games I ever played growing up was the Spider-Man games. I even got a Spider-Man game, the Ultimate Spider-Man game, on the Xbox for one of my birthdays when I was younger, which was interesting. Yeah. I'm just trying to think, like, is there any character that you would... Because, like, you can do characters, like, without powers with this type of game, but the interest wouldn't be there. Like, you can do Green Arrow, but the interest won't be there.
It'd be bigger now because of the show,
Show's ended.
And probably could do because of Hawkeye, because Marvel getting more popular as it is.
Yeah.
But other characters, you know.
Marvel's getting popular?
Well, I suppose, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
Like, Captain America would be a history lesson. I can see people being partially bored with it.
That would be interesting. That'd be interesting to try and do.
I'd love a Captain America solo game.
But that's kind of the thing, right? The faces of the two companies have this game. Like, Spider-Man is the face of Marvel, really, and Batman's the face of DC. And, yeah.
Spider-Man is absolutely the face of Marvel. It may have changed in recent years, but...
Nah, Spider-Man will always be the face
of
Marvel.
But now that he's back on, now that he's in the actual MCU, he definitely is. The point, the argument can be made that Iron Man is, and you can argue against it all you like.
Yeah.
But it's either Iron Man or Spider-Man.
Yeah, but
it used to be uncontested. Now it's contested. I still agree. It's definitely Spider-Man. It's
definitely Spider-Man.
But it's contested.
It's like okay, Iron Man. Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, Spider-Man has just been bigger for so much longer, and it's like if you think of Stan Lee and Marvel, I immediately just think Spider-Man. I immediately think Spider-Man over anything else. I don't think about anything else besides Spider-Man straight away.
I only discovered Iron Man when the movie
also
came
Spider-Man
out.
has
Spider-Man. Yeah, but that's the primary movie young audience would now know Iron Man as the main character. He's been the headline for the Marvel Cinematic Universe most popular films of the past decade, for a decade, and Spider-Man only came in halfway through. That's why the argument can be made.
Yes, but
current audience.
Yes, but remember when we were children,
surface value what Marvel is, then of course it would be. I am agreeing with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, I know. But do you remember what happened when we were kids? The first 3 Spider-Man movies came out. Also, you have Into the Spider-Verse, opening up Spider-Man's world, and shit. And there's so much more Spider-Man content. Venom as well is technically Spider-Man content.
Yeah, I'm still saying Spider-Man face easily. Iron Man was
it's just also partially kind of like that thing. It's like I can't see Iron Man being the face. He was a B-tier hero before 2008. He was actually a B-tier. It's like, who would you rather have the face of?
The X-Men and the Fantastic. That's why That's why they don't have the rights to the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, because they were popular, so they sold the rights to them. No one wanted Iron Man. No one gave a fuck.
Exactly.
That's why they sold Hulk partially, which is why they only made that one film. And now look at them. Never have I seen such an underdog story. As bankrupt, selling half their people, and then using the scraps, the leftovers, to become the highest grossing film franchise ever.
What would you rather? Have a character who's more relatable to teenagers, being Peter Parker, or someone who has struggled with alcoholism, sex and shit. Like, go through both of their pasts. Tell me which one you would prefer being the face.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I think. I mean, in the end of the day, I mean, the one of the highest grossing movies of all time had that guy as the face. So it's like, I'm not saying he is the face of Marvel. I'm just saying there is that.
And even if they want to get Spider-Man as the face, that means they have to give Sony more money.
Yeah. Good on you, Sony. You did the right thing. You bought on Spider-Man.
I was going to buy Sony. But Sony isn't exactly a failing company.
Neither was Fox.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true. But Fox, I feel like, was a bit different than Sony. Sony feels bigger.
Well, because Fox only has movies, and they only bought the movie part of it, then Fox keeps the news and shit.
Yeah.
Sony is a fucking tech company as well.
Yeah. Alright, moving on from talking about comics. The Simpsons Hit and Run.
The first ever video game I played.
Alright, to sum up this game, GTA, but Simpsons.
Yeah.
That's a summary. Me running over people. There's a bit of a story mode to it. Halloween, whatever. It's just fun as fuck. Driving around. This is clearly the best racing game. This is the best racing game.
I heard a story where apparently what made Matt Groening approve the game is that he kicked Marge. He kicked Marge down the street, and that's why he liked the game, and that's why they got
You can do that. You can. Look, we may not have guns, we may not have explosives, but you can kick Marge.
Homer's kick, man, bro.
You can walk around.
I used to get in trouble.
Sounds like domestic abuse to me.
Literally.
You can walk around as Homer in his underpants.
With the hole in the side?
I think, maybe. I don't know. There are a lot of references to, as well, early Simpsons, which everyone classifies as the best Simpsons.
And I don't think I've got it season 18, bro.
You fucking bastard. But yes, it is such an amazing game, and like I've played through it so many times that it just is a fun as fuck game. And I do wish that there was like an updated version for it, because there's only like two ways you can play it: either emulate it or on the actual like consoles that it was on. But definitely fucking fantastic game. Don't you reckon, Caleb? Your first game?
It was really good.
What was that Simpsons mobile game that was like a city builder?
I don't know. Isn't it just like... Doesn't like Family Guy have one of those as well? Oh, Tapped Out, is that the one?
Tapped Out, yeah, that's it.
Ah,
that was one of my first ever mobile games.
I tried playing it again, but it's slow as fuck. It's shit. Back in the day, it was a bit better, but I reckon they've done something to it, and it's not as good.
I think they've added too much.
Playing that game because we kept using too much of the internet. Back then, we only had a certain amount.
Alex, why are you using the internet?
Fuck, the internet bill was massive because of that game.
Who gave you permission to use the internet?
Well, they did. They just didn't realize I'd use it so much.
I didn't tell you to use the internet. You cheeky bastard.
Oh, you're a cheeky bastard, you.
Oh, you cheeky bastard, you. You should not have used my internet. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. Simpsons Hit and Run. Great. Fucking fantastic game. Driving around, being buffed.
I should have added PvZ.
All the different...
Oh.
What?
Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh.
So I'm just remembering all the mobile games I played.
But if you are a Simpsons fan, like I'm kind of done with the Simpsons a bit. Like I can't. I don't. But Hit and Run, still a great game. You can just drive around. You can do the missions. You can kick bees. You can go in a poo store. You can go in the school. You can go drive through the nuclear plant. There's just so much.
I've run over the plants.
running around Springfield doing whatever the hell you want. Kind of. It's just a lot of fun, I think. Yeah, that's kind of it. I've forgotten a lot about it because I haven't played it in a while. Every time I play it now, I just play it for like a little bit, just for like the nostalgia trip, and just driving around, just doing shit. The levels where you have to like race against the cops and whatnot, and make sure you don't get caught or whatever. Leading to my final one on my list, before I can finally partially shut up and give it to Caleb. Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
I'm sorry, I was looking
I
at
got nothing to say. Fucking say that.
I put 4 games on my thing. They are my 4 favorite Pokemon games.
Okay, so these aren't just in general Pokemon. It's these particular games.
I'm talking in general of Pokemon, but like I wanted to make the image my 4 favorite Pokemon games, being Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Platinum, Soul Silver, and Black 2. I have not played White 2, so shut up. But yes, Pokemon story. You can really just start from anywhere. It may look daunting, but you can start from anywhere. It teaches you what you need to do. It teaches you this is how you throw a Pokeball. It's like, yes, I understand this. I'm a veteran. Piss off. But it's still targeted towards like, I guess, new people.
Well, a game giving you a tutorial.
Yeah, but I just
For
wish I
people
could
who may
skip the
want it.
fucking tutorial.
Oh, there's a skip option? Kind of bullshit.
The only one I'm kind of fine with is I think Ruby, like Emerald's version, because it's like you in like Emerald, like you have one of your rivals is Wally, and like you have to kind of go with Wally and watch him catch Pokemon. But at that time and at that point, you can already have like a full team of 6 Pokemon, so you can already just kind of figure it out for yourself. I don't know. Obviously, you play like one game of Pokemon, you kind of understand literally everything about like how the game works, or even if it is different, like you're still just following along with the different stories, and like sometimes the stories might not be as strong. The games I chose, I felt like had a better story, especially Black 2 had a great story, and there's just a lot. And as well, what has been noticed is a lot of these games are older games because they serve the challenge. I still shit myself in fear of Cynthia, the champion of Pokemon Platinum, Diamond and Pearl. Watching Whitney and her bloody Miltank crush me with a fuck. It's like, ah!
I'm back.
I don't know. Caleb, have you ever beaten a Pokemon game?
Yes.
Which one?
Well, okay, define beat.
Pokemon League.
Yes.
Well-
Sun, no, not Sun, Moon, Omega Ruby, and X.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
I think. Those 3.
Yes, interesting.
Yes.
But none of the older, more challenging.
No. And that's... It was never because they were challenging, it was just because I just couldn't be fucked.
Yeah.
After I did Omega Ruby, after I beat that, I never beat a Pokemon game again because I just couldn't be fucked.
I just think, like, from my own perspective, I just don't think, like, nothing can ever, like, really beat Pokemon for me in terms of my favorite video game. Because, on one hand, there is a lot of nostalgia. On another hand, that is the entire reason why I buy Nintendo products. I only bought a 2DS for Pokemon.
Same.
I bought a Wii U thinking there'd be a Pokemon game, possibly Snap. Never happened. Until now. I bought a Switch because I knew there would be Pokemon games. I bought a DS because of Pokemon games. Pokemon has really just kind of stayed in my kind of mind of just like this. It has this grasp over me. Because it's just such an interesting world, and there's so many different ways you can also explore it, from the anime, the manga, the games, Even
the fact that I'm beating up Pikachu right now in Smash.
Oh, you bastard! Why would you do that to him? He's a poor little rat.
The rat has been fucking frying me. So I've been sogging him in the face.
Why would you do that? But Pokemon as well, it is such a large company now that they have branched off into like different games and aspects. Like you have Pokemon Strike, you have Pokemon Shuffle, which is basically Candy Crush or whatever.
They've even got live action movies now.
They even have live action movies. Even mystery dungeon games, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I know your girlfriend is, Alex.
I know she is.
Yeah.
And it's a miracle I actually know that because I don't pay fucking attention.
Quality boyfriend. But yes, I think Pokemon is just kind of one of those games where it's like, I understand.
Rat's feeding me up. I'm sorry.
I understand what I need to do. I can find so much enjoyment in playing a new game, and then it's all that aspect of, is the challenge there, or even just having your own choice of what Pokemon you use, because there's so many. Like me just opening Pokemon Pearl and doing a poison only run was ridiculous.
Did you win?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Granted, may I just say, my biggest and best Pokemon in that game was Gengar. Gengar, like it was so interesting because I was doing a poison type only run, right? But like I had to think about it. I'm like, okay, what Pokemon can I use? What Pokemon do I have access to? Like I can just trade Pokemon if they need to evolve. How do I get things like a Moonstone or whatever if I have something I need to evolve with a Moonstone? It was just very interesting to watch how I did things, especially in the game. Like doing like Nuzlocke as well. Like so many people love doing Nuzlocke where it's like every one of your Pokemon only has one life. There are Nuzlocke everywhere. Just playing a normal Pokemon game. Who does that anymore? Everyone's doing Nuzlocke. Or even just a different type of Nuzlocke, like there are shiny locks, or just versing other people in games of Pokemon who can last a lot longest, or even like Soul Link Nuzlocke or whatever. Like there's so much you can do and just play, and you can create more content than what you really necessarily do just by playing this game. And I don't think any other game has really kind of done this before in this kind of way where it's like the game doesn't change. The story, everything's the same. You can't really control how it progresses. But you can control what Pokemon you use, how you use them. You can get ROM hacks, you can get fan-made Pokemon games, which is also very fun. Like I played the full version of Pokemon like Red and Blue, but it was all the Pokemon were like candy versions. And it was so tough to learn like the different candy types.
Wasn't there like a Pokemon game that was like I forgot what it was called? It was like Ring of something.
Pardon?
It was like I don't, because it was like Sapphire, Emerald, and then there was like a fan game similar to those.
There are tons of fan games.
There are
There
tons.
was a really popular one that was they got sued, I think, for
The only one I can remember off the top of my head is Uranium.
Yeah, I think that sounds right. I think that was one that I'm thinking of. I'm adding as much conversation as I possibly can. I've never heard of a fan game once.
Pokemon Go player. Well, Alex, you said last week like you were interested in like
What is this?
you were interested in making Legends Arceus your first Pokemon game.
Yes. I mean, I have an interest in playing that. Because you were watching the Pokemon stream of all the things, and I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'm gonna vibe with them. And then I saw the play trailer for Arceus, I'm like, hey, that looks pretty good.
But it's like, if that was your first game of Pokemon, it's just kind of like, and if you wanted to go on and play more, I don't think that's the best first game. But if you're just playing Legends Arceus, then go right ahead. Just go right ahead, I guess.
Why not? There are rules? Fuck the rules. My first Marvel movie is gonna be Civil War. Fuck you.
My first Marvel movie is gonna be Endgame.
Oh yeah.
Could you imagine if that
Who's
was
this
your
character? Oh, he's dead. Oh.
I don't have to care about him anymore. So what movie do I have to start with? Ah, fuck.
Imagine starting the MCU with Loki.
Yeah. Pokemon, much love. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Get fucking thrashed on, fucking Zappy Rat.
I'm done speaking about the Pokemon. Alex is clearly, I don't know, he might be fighting Pichu for all I know.
Ah, those are games
Pikachu.
I played.
He threw me.
And now I
I've
can
played
finally
these
shut the fuck up.
I've played these games.
I've
have?
played 1, 2, 3,
Get shit
4.
on. Okay.
I played 4
1,
properly and 2 a
2.
bit.
Is the 2 a bit Skyrim and
Mega Man.
Mega Man, right?
Yeah.
I've played Halo at people's houses.
I played Mega Man 2 a bit. And 3. Remember I was talking to you about playing 3.
Yeah. Alright.
What's
well,
the bottom left one?
Dishonored.
Dishonored. Okay.
I suppose I'll do the same shape. My shape is gonna be the S, but there's gonna be a little bit of a rule break at some point with the X.
I skipped rounds.
I'm doing what you're doing, except I'm doing it for the top row instead of the bottom row. Anyway, the first game we've got here, or the series I should say, is Mega Man. So I think last year was when I first played a Mega Man game. I played Mega Man 1, 2, and a little bit of 3. Then this year, I said, let's replay them. So I played 1, 2, and 3, and then I decided, fuck it, let's play more games, because these games are fucking banger. And I played using the Mega Man collection, so I played up to 6, and then I've got the X collection, so I've played up to... I've completed X1 and 2, but I am going through X3 right now. But very slowly. The Mega Man games are just mad. The ones I've played are all 2D platformers, but they're very fun 2D platformers. Despite being very old, they can be very, I suppose, fast-paced at times. And I love the gameplay loop, because basically the gameplay loop is you go onto a level, you beat the enemies, and then you beat the boss. When you beat the boss, you get his weapon. You can then use this weapon to fight more enemies, but certain bosses are weak to certain weapons. And it's the entire game is pretty much going around killing the bosses, getting the weapons, until you will eventually fight the villain. If it's the original Mega Man game, it's pretty much going to be Dr. Wily. And you just do that, and you beat them, and it's fun. And it plays off the gameplay I like of having multiple weapons and having multiple abilities. And X improve. I like how in one you can charge up different weapons. So all of a sudden, not only is it this is the weapon, that's what it can do. It's now this is the weapon, this is what it can do. Plus, if you charge it, it can become a fucking super wind death beam. And I was debating which one to put. I was either going to put 2, 6, because initially I put 2 down, and then I put 6 down instead, and then I put X1 down, and then I went back to 2, and I was going back and forth between 2 and 6, but then I eventually just said fuck it, the entire franchise, because they're all good, they're all fun.
When I put things on my list, I put them as franchises.
6 I enjoyed because it has this jetpack. Because pretty much all the weapons, they have energy. All the weapons, the items, they all have this energy. And you use it up, and then you get it back with these energy capsules. But in Mega Man 6, the jetpack has energy, but it recharges, like, immediately after you land. So it's something you can constantly fucking use, just flying around the level. And I would get so disappointed when I had to switch out to another item, because the jetpack was that fun. As a something I would, a starting point I would recommend is probably Mega Man 2. Mega Man 1's a bit tricky. Mega Man 2 balances it out a bit and makes it a little bit
I
easier.
started with Mega Man 3.
That's Mega Man 3 is fine as well. Actually, Mega Man 2 is good.
Yes.
because it's the beginning of, I think, a lot of the things that is still in the Mega Man. Well, at least from what I know, it's a good beginning. But then 3 also adds sliding, which is a fantastic fucking feature. Sliding is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what? Like the whole thing where like you have to beat bosses and you get new weapons, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually recently was playing some Metroid games
Yeah.
because I was possibly thinking like, oh, I'm just thinking like Dread seems interesting. Should I play? And it has that kind of very similar thing where it's like you beat bosses, you get new weapons and whatnot.
Yeah.
But obviously, like it's the way you play is very kind of different, and like the levels are more, I feel like, explorable with Samus.
Yes.
And Metroid.
Metroid. Because I mean I've got the original Metroid. I haven't finished it, but I've played a little bit. And the different they're similar, but there's differences.
Yeah.
The big difference is that in Metroid it's more about you're going across you're exploring this level, but you need to find a particular item to get past this doorway in order to proceed. But you're continuously going back and forth. Mega Man, it's more you pick this level, you go through the level that is largely pretty much all linear, and then you beat the boss and then go fight which other level you want. And some games will give you items as you progress through different levels just automatically. Some you've got to find them. The first game's bullshit with it, because what it does is there's this item you need. If you do not have that item, you can't proceed through the boss level. But it's hidden. So if you go past it and you don't realize you need it, you're fucked. You have to restart the entire fucking game because that's it. Which is bullshit. But with Mega Man 1, I don't blame it too much because it was at the time where home games were not really coming into their own. They were coming from arcades. So even in Mega Man 1, I think there was a score. So it's sort of like they viewed it just as an arcade game at home rather than a game, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mega Man I'm becoming quite the fan of, and I'm going to continue to play the games because very
interesting.
Fun. Very fun. Next, we have Doki Doki Literature Club. Now, the reason this one's on here is because I was extremely fortunate that I went into it thinking it was a dating I was extremely fortunate because then what actually happened took me by surprise, and I was so pleased. That bar. I'll never forget.
How do you hear this game and go like, I know nothing about it. I'm gonna play it.
I didn't hear about it. I was just on Steam.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that day I look, you know, and I'm like, have a look at to see what is there. And and the door opens and you just see her, you know, when you leave her in a bit, that was just brilliant. And then I turned it off and then I turned it back on. And I'm like, okay, new game. Let's see how I play it so she doesn't fucking die. And then she's just not there, and I'm thinking, oh, so it's this sort of game where it's fuckery. And then at the end, where what it wants you to do to not to beat the game, and how it wants you to do something outside of the game, was a very interesting mechanic. And then the other aspect of it. But yeah, I know it was I think it was definitely the first visual novel I ever played.
I'm not a big fan of visual novel type games.
I haven't even touched visual novels yet.
But just the fact that I think it did so well because the fact that it presented itself as a stereotypical look, women try and touch them, and then it's just like kind of you're only gonna see one scene of penetration. You know, that game was brilliant, and if I had known what it was, my experience would not have been this in the slightest.
It's how someone could hear about this game and not hear about that game.
This was before it became popular.
Yeah, even I played it before it became popular.
This was before.
This was like just as it was beginning.
So actually, what initially happened is I played the first part. Because it's split into 4 parts. I played the first part, and then I didn't play it. I stopped playing it because you know, that was a bit shifty. And then I heard about it again, and I decided, you know what, I'll give it another go. But even when I heard about it again, I didn't what was going to happen, which was good, because that would have been bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I quite enjoyed it, and I like Monica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was and it's interesting to go back through. There's a slight replayability because when you go back through it, you begin to see things change. You begin to see how the characters, especially Monica, you see how when she begins to realize things and when she begins to notice things, and it's that's very interesting going back through it. But yeah, other than that, I can't play through it. I can't replay it too many times because it's just the same thing.
Yeah.
Especially because in the second part they force you to go with a particular girl. The first part, that's the only really time where you can get different I suppose scenes, but the other one, second part no, and third part and fourth part's pretty much the same. And I don't think I've actually ever gone past third again. I went past part 3 the first time I played, and then I've refused to do the deed of what you have to do to get past part 3. Anyway, that's Doki Doki. Next is a game that I don't think any of you have played.
No.
Which is Dishonored. This is both Dishonored 1 and 2.
I have to ask about it, I just didn't even recognize it.
I've played a bit of Death of the Outsider, but I've not gotten very far with it.
Is he a pervert? Is he a pervert?
I mean, he penetrates a lot of people.
I mean, when I was doing the things, and that image is from him staring at a guy, so I'm pretty sure he's gay.
Oh.
So the games are essentially, the best way I can describe it is first-person Assassin's. That is.
Well, there's something I didn't even know Assassin's Creed was third person.
What?
I don't know shit. I've never played one of these games. I haven't watched you play this game.
The basic premise is that it's in this sort of, I don't want to call it steampunk, but it's like that sort of, you know, like old sort of
Old English?
steampunky almost, gritty, grimy.
Industrial Revolution?
Yeah, Industrial Revolution. Actually, that's actually perfect. And
Syndicate.
the basic story is you're this guy. When the first game, you're this guy who gets framed for killing the Empress. And...
Did you kill the Empress?
I did, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you're just going about killing the people who were behind her murder to gain power. And in the second game, you play as both either him or the daughter of the Empress, Emily. And depending on who you pick, you get different powers. And the main premise of the game is the sort of gimmick, I suppose, is that it changes depending on what you do. So if you, in the first game, it's a bit more simplistic in the sense that if you kill a lot, then the next time you come to the city, there will be these like zombie cunts that are just roaming around. But if you are a bit more silent, if you don't kill, then there's going to be less of them. If you're very loud, and you're killing a lot, at the end, it will become not necessarily harder. The people you're supposed to kill will be much more cautious. If you're very stealthy and you don't do anything, then they're going to be less cautious. Thus, they're more out in the open and perhaps slightly easier to kill. And in the second game, there's I think there's even more to do with that, and the story changes depending on who you pick and how you go about doing things. But yeah, and I enjoyed that aspect, and I enjoy the powers and the setting as well. I probably prefer the first game a bit more of the second one, just because the first game's theme, it seems a bit darker. Not that the second one isn't dark, but the second one is in a bit more of a coastal area. The first one's coastal, I suppose, but a bit brighter, a bit more sunny. The first game's much gloomier, and there's rats everywhere. There's rats in the second game, but they sort of more replace them with these blood fucking flies. But yeah, the powers are all cool. There's possession, time slow. The weapons are kind of cool. He's got like a sword that fucking flips out. The whole sort of the background behind the magic system, how it's just like God. That looks like Ethan. Every time I see him, he reminds me.
Hang on, give me the name.
Yeah, look,
He reminds me of you.
I'm
I don't know
God.
why. Yeah, pretty much.
Let me see this image.
I can send it to you. Hang on.
The Outsider?
Yeah, the Outsider, Dishonored.
Bit skinny.
Very skinny, yeah, skinny. But I don't know. He
But
reminds
if Ethan was skinny, yeah.
yeah.
You call me fat?
No, I'm calling you bulky and big, not fat. We're fat.
This guy.
Oh no, I'm a bit tubby.
Yeah, I know. He reminds me of you.
It is you in my fucking Unreal film.
Literally.
It is, isn't it?
And yeah, he gives people powers for stuff, just special magical shit. And yeah, just I'll be honest with Dishonored, also running out of ideas, but it is a game that I do quite enjoy, and I've played a couple of times. Over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't talk. Apparently, I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Where I can't run it. Oh fuck. Where is it available? Where to play? Is it a Steam game or console?
Steam.
What is it?
Steam.
Steam.
There are console releases, yeah. I first played it on a console, but then got it on
Unreal Engine 3.
It's actually what's interesting is the only game here that shares like a company.
The company
Minecraft
is?
sort of, but I don't consider it because Minecraft was created before
Yeah.
Microsoft, and that's Bethesda. Because Bethesda's, I don't think they developed. I don't think so. I think they just published it, but it's still under the same company. But they did develop Skyrim. Skyrim, they definitely developed.
So, huh? Wow, that's cheap as fuck.
What?
How much?
I just looked at JB Hi-Fi. It has Dishonored 2 for $15.
Yeah, Dishonored's. Oh, what's it on?
Hey, it has a pop of me.
Get it.
I don't think.
There are pops. Oh, probably. Yeah, that makes sense.
There's
Dishonored,
also this
15
one that
bucks on
says
Steam.
Dishonored Death of the
Death of the Outsider. Yep. That's the one. I've got that. but
Ethan
I
dies?
I can't even remember. I can't even remember what
I
happens on
died.
that. I don't think so, because that's a prequel.
These
and
games are
the
cheap
Outsider-
as fuck, so I might play them.
$15. So it's $15 on Steam. Dishonored 2.
3 friends already in this game.
I
and
think
one of them's
mechanically
not
Dishonored 2 is better,
Okay.
but thematically Dishonored 1 is better.
cool. Yeah, fuck it. Add to wish list.
Then it's $39
Yeah, that's a wish list as well.
on Steam is Dishonored 2. Death of the
Well,
Outside,
like
I don't think is that. I don't think is that.
I don't know. Yeah,
Please,
you've
it's
got
your
me
birthday.
interested.
Continue.
You've got me very interested. This is like the first time I've ever heard really anything about Dishonored, besides the magic
And
system you talked about.
It's just the style, just everything the way they do things.
You kind of already sold me on like the Assassin's Creed kind of style.
We know over 100 awards.
It's like Assassin's Creed in the assassination stuff. It's different in the sense that it's got fucking magic.
Yeah.
I should also say that they are. The first game is quite short. It's very short. I can finish it easily within a day. Playing it again because it's piss short. Second one's longer, but still a bit short, but longer. Okay, well, Dishonored.
Just add that to more games I'll buy that I can't play yet. When I own Kakarot, I can't do shit with it.
Yeah.
Halo.
Halo.
The big boy of my childhood, and still a game that I can come back and play today. It's just, it was just, you know, it's a first person shooter that I think other shooters haven't really been able to mimic, and that's the fact that you can just go around this level killing aliens, but that you can pick up their guns and board their vehicles and just go around using them. Like at that, it always disappointed me in games when I'd look at a fucking vehicle, I'm like, I want to drive that. Well, Halo, I saw that vehicle, I want to drive it. And it always annoyed me in some later games, like in Halo 3, there was this anti-aircraft wraith that you couldn't like you could beat the ever-loving shit out of, but you couldn't board it, and it always pissed me off that you couldn't do it. And I even think in some games the wraith, it might even be Halo 3 still, the normal wraiths were very tricky to get into. Like if you tried to in the second game you could beat them out of the vehicle to get back in.
Yeah.
But in 3 I don't think you could do that. I think they would just break, which was always annoying. But there were still other vehicles that you could drive. In Reach there was the Revenant, which is my favorite vehicle and one of my favorite vehicles in gaming, full stop. Because it was like, do you remember the Ghost?
Yes.
The Ghost with the fast small land vehicle, and then you had the Wraiths with the big tanks. The Revenant was.
Oh yeah, I remember the Ghost. Yeah.
It had the speed of a Ghost, but it had the firepower of a Wraith, and bro. Every time I play Reach, I need to fucking have that because they're so fun to use. And the weapons as well. Spartan laser. Oh my god, so good, such good.
I mean,
fucking
my
guns.
Xbox was a Halo 2 edition Xbox. Yeah. So like it came with Halo 2, and apparently it also came with Halo as well, which was interesting. So that's how I have both Halos.
You know, because I played CE then 2, and I remember when the Master Chief Collection that came out, and I was, bro, I remember I just went to fucking Chatty, like.
And I also know some people who like the books, the Halo books.
Yeah. There's a massive lore with it that I haven't really explored too much, but there is a big lore.
I can't say much on it. All I know is one person that I know who has almost all the books. I think they're missing one.
Right. Me personally, newer games, I don't really like what 343 has been doing. Halo 4 was a bit odd, but it was alright. Halo 5 was dog shit.
I think Halo was one of those games where it's like, it was one of the first games that introduced more of a sci-fi type of feeling to it, where it's like a shooter game, but also kind of, it made it its own. And I'm just trying to think, is anything else fucking have science fiction? Anything else that's like it? I'm just thinking, no, other things are just more modern day or have some sort of power or magic.
Apex. But Apex, they took some things from Halo.
Yeah.
their submachine gun, the Prowler, I think it's called.
Yeah.
They just took the assault rifle from Halo.
Yeah.
That laser gun, they took it from the Spartan laser, 100%.
Yeah.
They yoinked a bit from that. A lot of games took shit from Halo. Halo was like, I wouldn't say it's the granddaddy because that's sort of Doom and Wolfenstein, but
Yeah. Oh yeah, Doom is the only one I can think of that's partially sci-fi.
But Halo is what made the online multiplayer scene like big.
Yeah.
That's what birthed multiplayer.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
as a kid, I didn't really play the multiplayer, but later I joined in on it a little bit, and I can
I've
see
never
how
played
it's
the
very
multiplayer.
enjoyable.
Or online.
But
sorry.
I mean, Halo is one of those games for me where I have just so many fond memories of that game. So many fond memories. It and the next game on my 3x3, just so many memories. Me getting scared of the hunters at some point and turning off my Xbox. Just always. What I would do is, I think I had a glitch where the Scarab's gun wouldn't damage me. So what I would do is I'd get on the little mongoose, the quad bikes, and I'd drive around and get it to hit me, and it would fucking fling me up into the air. But that was so much fun, and it was, I was at the age where I could just do anything, and it would be fun for some reason.
Yeah.
And that charm it had on me was just, And you look at the graphics back in the day, and it's like, now you see them and they're kind of shit. But back in the day, I thought it was the most realistic thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when they remastered Halo 2, oh man, I was so happy because it was just a new coat of paint.
That was also. I feel like in video games there are a lot of things that like sequels are better a lot of the times, and Halo 2
can be, yeah.
Halo 2 was one of those things.
Halo
like,
2,
the sequels.
Oh my god. Halo 2 I used to herald as my favorite game. I still do, but Halo 3 has like, because I played I always enjoyed Halo 3.
Yeah.
But then looking back at the games, I'd always seen my nostalgia as mainly Halo 2. But then I played Halo 3 again, I'm like, oh, fuck, no. Maybe not. Maybe I have fonder memories of 3. But both of them, they were just...
I think 3 was more around, like... It came out around more of your age of when you were playing it more than the first 2. Is that how it went?
No. It was just Halo... Because I played Halo 2, and then I played Halo 3, but I think the problem is I stopped playing newer Halo games. So I went from Halo 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3. I would play 3 because that was the new game, and I wouldn't play 2 that much anymore. That didn't happen with Reach. I played a bit of Reach, but I didn't like it as a kid. So I would just go back and play Halo 3.
Yeah.
So I just stayed on that. That's why I think I might have fonder memories, is because I just played it more because it's what eventually came out, it's what I eventually stuck with. Now, however, when I replayed Reach a few years ago, then I'm like, okay, I proper enjoyed Reach. And I think it was actually a shame I didn't play it more as a kid, because Reach was a good storyline. That was good. Even though Rogue One copied it a little bit, but
yeah.
Those two stories are very similar.
Well, are you ready to go on your spiel?
I'm contemplating whether I should skip it and break the order even more.
Oh.
No, okay, no, I'm not talking about a certain aspect of Minecraft.
Okay.
And then I'll talk about the other aspect. Minecraft was... Like Halo was that game where I just have so many fond memories of. Because, I mean, I played it... I started properly playing it in 1.2. And I remember... I played 1.1. The problem was, like, I remember I couldn't figure out how to update it to 1.2. And that shit me. And then I eventually got to 1.2. And I remember, man, I had a creative ward and I built an iron golem shape, but I was on 1.1. I did it in preparation for when 1.2 got updated. And I remember waiting for that, and then they were gonna have the ocelots, and I remember being so enthralled by every new update that came out, and then eventually I got enthralled with the mods, which I'm gonna talk about the mods a bit later. But you know, just those times, those, you know, when I was in primary school, primary school was when I was mainly playing it.
Yeah.
You know, I was this Minecraft nerd. Every day I'd get on and play. Without fail, I'd have to get on and do something. You know,
Your
I had
old
this
channel.
I had my world like Earth, and I had this little 3. I know it was 3 wide, right? No, yeah, sort of. It was this 1 block corridor, and then it sort of had. It went out another block because that was where my bed was, and I think I had my chest. And it was this tiny slither of a house. Because I was so scared of going down to mine. I was so scared of going into the caves. Because I'm like... Because, one, I didn't know... Because I was scared the creepers were going to kill me. And I was also scared that I was going to get lost.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, we didn't have those mini-maps. And I didn't know about the F3 coordinate shit. So, if I forget where I am, that's it.
Yeah, I remember that feeling.
I remember once I finally worked up the courage to go down there and get shit, and I was so happy because I got lapis lazuli, and this was lapis back in the day where lapis didn't do shit. It just was a dye.
Lapis didn't do shit for a long time.
And I was so happy I got lapis. I'm like, fuck yeah, I got a bit of gold, and then I remember hearing a hissing sound, and there went my lapis. I never went back down in the cave. That was it. I never went back down in the cave. And then I remember I had this little, fucking 3x3, farm. No, it wasn't. It was 3x2, right? And I had water down the center, but I was in a tiger biome, so the water kept freezing over. So I tried to put a torch, because I thought, oh, if I put the torch there, it's not going to melt. Well, it still melted, didn't it? And I could barely grow any crops. Just those memories, man. And then spending hours trying to get a mod in, trying to get SPC in, which was the single player commands mod. And then I got it, and then I went around making charged creepers everywhere, because all of a sudden I could cheat and do shit. And those memories, you know, it's a time in my life I cherish. I mean, and even aside from the PC version, when I played on the Xbox version, man, with certain people that would come over, or even online, playing with people online, you know, on the servers, in grade 6 and all that, fucking, Hypixel still around, but Shotbow, used to play this game mode where you were this ghost, and people had to kill the ghost, but you had all these powers. And there was an alternative one where you're Herobrine, all those Smash Brothers game modes, Mine Z, which was, it was just that time, and the YouTubers, watching all the YouTubers play it, Yogscast, mainly Yogscast is what I watched. I would watch fucking Duncan's Tekkit playthrough. That was so interesting. And then you know, and you know, Minecraft I think has sort of changed a bit.
A bit.
And I think at one point I just grew out of it, in the sense that the base game stopped doing it for me, and I found it extremely boring. The updates I didn't like. I thought that was shit. But it's always going to be that game that I have a soft spot for, because it was that thing. It was such an integral part of my life at that time, and it's still a game I play with the help of mods, which I'm going to expand upon later in this 3x3. But yeah, that's what I have to say about good old mining and the crafting. Does anyone have any?
No.
I've said everything I needed to say.
Yeah.
Rust. Rust is a very interesting game.
No, I'm not interested in it.
It was when I first played it. Now it's a bit more complex, but especially when I first played it, it was very simplistic, and it still is rather simple. There's not these complex fucking mechanics necessarily. I mean, there's a bit of learning to do, but what makes Rust so interesting isn't necessarily the mechanics, but it's how the mechanics. It's what the mechanics allow the players to do. Because player interaction in this game is such an integral part, and it's why I think Rust is such a good game, in the sense that it capitalizes off of the fact that people are people, and people will be people, and that idea creates so many interesting scenarios. Whether it be you're running through the world naked, and someone shoots you, and it's like, fuck, that's toxic. Why did they have to shoot me? I had nothing. But then opposite could happen. You could be a naked running across, and someone could come up to you and say, here, have some resources, because they're feeling very generous that day. Or perhaps you're new to the game and they invite you to their compound to actually help you learn it. Right? All these stories, all these events that happen, all these playthroughs, everything's different, and it's always different. Right? I mean, this last playthrough, something happened that had never happened. Where I ran up to some guy, we killed each other with rocks, we were both naked, and then he takes my rock and my torch, and he revives me, and I start berating him, like calling him a stupid fucking bitch, and then we run into the gas station, and I keep yelling at him, and then this white naked comes along and fucking hits me with a rock and kills me. It's that we're just, because people are people, they will do there is an infinite number of reactions they can take, and an infinite number of things they can do, how they treat a situation, and creates these literally stories. I mean, there's this YouTuber called Wellen. He's this Rush YouTuber, but he always makes these videos of him doing stuff, but he presents it in such a narrative way, because that's almost what happened. There's almost a story. There's your beginnings. There's just your rock and your torch, building up to your base, and then maybe within the day you are nothing, and that's your story. It can be annoying to lose all of that, but in that time in between, there could be so many other interactions you have. Whether it be killing Vigesh, whether it be going out trying to get something and just getting gunned down immediately, or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's Jack fucking going to an airdrop and naked, and for some reason bringing back the most powerful weapon in the game. It's things like that, and because it's so simple, yet it allows so much in that regard. It just, I don't know. I can't. It's hard to explain, because so many of these stories you would have to have encountered yourself, but no other game has done it. Sea of Thieves has gotten close, but Rust just does it to a significantly greater level.
What do you
mean? Though it's extremely infuriating at times.
Vigesh parking the boat.
Yeah. What always brings me back is just the times you have, the things that happen, the times you piss fart around, or the times that funny things happen. Like recently, I put up a sign in front of the base that was the neighborhood watch symbol. Okay? And then we got raided, and then the cunts took it. The cunts took my sign. So Jack he starts making a bunch of spears, and he breaks it off the edge of their base, so that they can't steal it. Things like that, small things. It's something that again, I don't think I've ever encountered in any other game, and it's just done in it's what always brings me back is those experiences that are entirely player driven. You know what I mean? And I sort of mentioned in the last video with difficulty. But like a lot of the difficulty and a lot of the problems you will face, the majority will come from people. There's NPCs, whatever, but the majority will come from people and how they react, how you react, where you go, where they go. You know what I mean? One choice, one decision, and because of the complexity of humans, that could change everything. Everything. We got raided, but because Dean put a particular thing in a particular spot, we were able to get our base back. Just that small choice, that small decision, and because humans can be great, they can be smart, but they can also be dumb, he failed to raid our base. It's things like that it's why it's made this list, and why, you know, I sort of try and order it a bit. It's why it's so high up there, because it's just amazing what this game tries to do and what it succeeds in doing. Quite frankly, they've made some dumb decisions mechanically over the past, like making helicopters no longer naturally spawn, but still, the base of the game is there. The player interaction is still always going to be there, and yeah, I applaud it for it.
You compared it to Sea of Thieves for a bit.
Yes.
But one aspect of Sea of Thieves that is different with Rust is the fact that Sea of Thieves is limited in players. As in, like, you can only really have like 4 people on a crew. Whereas Rust is a little bit more like Minecraft in the sense of hopping on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think it's perhaps got more to do with the fact that Sea of Thieves is rather... I don't know how to put it into words, but I think that... I don't think it's the fault of Sea of Thieves. I'm not saying that Sea of Thieves not doing it makes it a shit game. I just think that Sea of Thieves has a little bit of it, like Rust, but Rust does it to it. Rust, I think, is largely that idea where it's player interaction, and that's what it does. That's where it truly shines, in my opinion, and it's why I don't recommend people. People do play it solo, but if I were to recommend someone, if someone wants to play it with friends, it is going to be significant. It's going to be significantly easier, and you that way. You know what I mean? The things you're going to do with them. Mostly clean Vigesh.
Yeah, understood.
After Rust, we have got a fantastic game, an absolutely fucking banger game. As one of my favorite characters of all time, he just Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Donald Trump.
The Assassin's Creed games are great in general, especially the ones in that era. But I think what enthralled me with Black Flag so much is story. Story was fantastic. Kenway's story, how he develops, how he goes through the world, and even the people around him, their Blackbeard is so good, and it's why whenever I see a Blackbeard in somewhere else, I always compare him to the Blackbeard there. Like, it's why when I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, I didn't like their Blackbeard.
Yeah, but that Blackbeard was shit.
No, yeah, but I didn't like their Blackbeard because I was comparing him to the Blackbeard in Black Flag, which was a fucking Chad. An absolute fucking unit. But then there's also the gameplay, the shit gameplay. Man, I don't know how they nailed it so well, but they just did. You know?
Oh, you ever been in a ship before?
You
ever manned a ship before?
No, but well, I sort of guess I have. Not a ship, I suppose. A little boat. I've done a boat.
I've done it partially to a small vessel.
But then with the music, you know, the music when it kicks in when you're in the boat fights, and then launching the cannons and the mortars, and then you're trying to dodge their cannons. Shut up. And then when you finally incapacitated them and you pull up a board them and fight them, the other Assassin's Creed gameplays like the daggers and how they've got the guns where he pulls the gun. He's got 4 guns on his chest and he pulls the gun out, shoots, pulls the gun out, shoots, pulls another gun out, pulls another gun out. The blow dart I think he's got with the rope darts and sleep darts. That entire game, you know, I remember because I played it when I was younger, but I never completed it. I never got even close to completing it. But then eventually, I did, and I was so mad that I hadn't finished it earlier, because when I finished that game, I'm like, fuck, that was genuinely such a good experience, such a good game, and to this day, it is, in my opinion, it is by far the best Assassin's Creed game that they've made. And especially when I went from that to Unity, I'm like, fuck Unity shit compared to this. I mean, I went from Black Flag to Rogue. Rogue was pretty much the same, well, except it was shorter. But then, yeah, Unity was just dog shit and compared to it. And it's probably the reason why I continue with Assassin's Creed that much further. After Black Flag, it was like, yeah. Do you have anything else to comment, Ethan? Because I know you.
It's a fucking fantastic story, especially for me because I played it a lot with my brother. It is a solo game, but like,
Yeah.
I remember like just playing it like alongside my brother a little bit because I was always better at like the fights and shit. But it was also so fascinating because my brother and I are heavily interested in history, and we love learning history. So from the historical aspect, it was a fucking fantastic game to play as well. Just with the story going from like the Spanish Inquisition and all that crap to being a fucking pirates in the 1800s or whatever it is, or the 1800s, 1700s. What else? I loved Assassin's Creed 3. I thought the story and the way like you got to play between the two different lines was also fantastic. And this is definitely the game that like I would have probably put on my top 10 as well.
Yeah.
Because there's my top 9, so my 3x3 as well. But like you had it here, and I didn't want to overlap because there's just so many great aspects to the game. And especially the story of how, like, oh, you're just this guy, and it's all about, like, your blood, and it's always something that's so fascinating. And there's always this intrigue, like, when you watch those kinds of even shows, but this aspect of, oh, he's not that, he's an assassin, he has all this ancestry in him, it's like, what the fuck is this man made of? And you get to, like, look, it would be such a good idea, even if it was a reel. It's like, why can't we have that reel? I want to walk through the lives of my ancestors, see what they were up to, you know?
That'd be sick as.
It would be cool as hell, especially if that could like be real and possible, and just like heavily story based. I think with this game, story was the thing that did it for me. It's a fantastic game. It has a lot of like great fighting sequence. Each character feels unique. I should say that.
Yeah.
For a lot of assassins, like it may feel a little bit repetitive from an appearance point. But no, it's every character is unique. They have their own story. The blandest character, honestly, I feel like is Connor. Just because like he has to watch all this happen and go through all these lives. And Edward Kenway is an interesting character in terms of like how he goes about things, because he feels different, and like even just some of them don't know their real heritage. Because like in Assassin's Creed 3, he didn't really know what an assassin was. He was just kind of like a weird love child of an Indian and a white man.
Like you look at Ezio.
Yeah.
Who we saw become an assassin in the beginning.
Yes.
We see Connor, he wasn't an assassin in the beginning, but he did become that.
Yeah.
It was relatively early on. And then you've got even Arno, who became an assassin, and then you've got Who's the other one? Evie, and the other one. What his name? Jacob. I think they were already assassins.
Yes.
Edward didn't truly become an assassin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Until the end of the game.
Yeah. He was just kind of a pirate.
He wore the armor, but he did not deserve it. He did not embrace it. He was just like, oh, this is cool armor. It's good. I'm going to use it. And he was just this pirate that went around everywhere, being a pirate, being an arsehole, destroying, pillaging and wrecking and killing. But towards the end, it's like he became what? Shit, I forgot her name. Mary Reed. He became what Mary Reed could see that he could become, and that was that the fact that he was meant for more, and that he could do more, and that he up there after everyone around him had died. That's his story, man. Oh, fucking love it.
Not many games have that historical aspect locked in, besides Assassin's Creed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
None of them are as good as Assassin's Creed. If they have a historical impact or thing like that, nothing creates its own story while the world is still turning and the events around you just happen while you're in the middle of like doing a mission or an assassination. But because there's all these other things, it feels bigger than what you are. Because like Assassin's Creed 3, you're in the fucking Civil War. There's more to the story than just you. There's more happening around you. There's more soldiers running around. And, like, you have the fucking patriots and whatnot. And, like, that's what got me interested in American history initially, was this kind of what happened in a civil war. Why did America fight itself? And whatnot. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Alex, do you have anything to say about Black Flag?
Half an hour ago, I learned that it was a third-person game.
What about the movie? What about the...
I would rather forget about the movie.
Well, next.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's the Okay. So, the next two entries on 3x3 consist of my most played game of all time and my third most played game of all time.
Not Minecraft?
I am going... Well, actually, I don't know how many hours I have on Minecraft. I can't count that.
I can't. I wish.
I am going to skip ahead and start with my third most played game of all time. Paladins.
Oh.
Paladins, as I've said before, I genuinely did consider it better than Overwatch. Simply because of the customization. Your character didn't stop with the character. It went beyond that. Not only the cards, but the skins, how you could change the hairpiece and the body piece, the weapons. Even I think you could even have your own voice line. You might be able to do that now. Like I can't remember, but you could have like one character's voice on top of another skin. And you know, I always bring this up because it was something I felt annoyed when they changed. That was, you know, when May first came out, I would always wear the brown coat because that was what made my Maeve unique. Whenever I saw that Maeve on the point, I knew, okay, that's my Maeve, because no one else wore the brown. They would want to wear the more special shit. No, I wore the brown coat. It annoyed me when they got rid of that because it was like, I actually like that skin. Fuck the red skin, right? I would have rather have. I never had the red skin. I only got it when they did that update. I would have not been. I would have been fine with never getting if I could just keep the brown skin. That there would be. But them getting rid of the changing the hair and changing the body.
Just so you can have the fucking frames.
Yeah.
Stupidest update.
You know, the fact that the fact that they fucked the Fernando skin, the fact that he has the gingerbread shield. The idea behind that is you could put that with any other skin. But now I can't put it on another skin. If I want the gingerbread shield, I need his default skin. Fuck off!
They
I want
added
to
the
put it with.
the
I
horror
want to
hats.
get. I want to get Shore Patrol skin and the gingerbread skin as well. That's perfect.
They
But
did
no,
the same thing with some of the hats. And there was Genos had like a Mike, I don't know what it's name, Jason Voorhees mask. Androx in a reindeer mask. Ruckus has Androx's
Atlantis.
mask.
Yeah.
Right? All these things that you're supposed to add on to your character because you could have the head separate from the body, and now you have to fucking play default body with it, and it's annoying as fuck.
Nah. Because I want that it to be like Smite in League of Legends, where you see the skin. But I'm thinking you could just do that. You could just make it based off of what the body is.
Yeah.
Considering that's the main part.
You can at least add a different feature just to have add-on hats.
Or you can even
So
just,
those
or
hats
they could
into
just be
something
like a
else, or a
chosen.
shield.
You could just have like a chosen select of like, oh, this is the card I want to be shown.
Yeah, if you could select.
That'd actually add even more customization.
I'd prefer if they'd have the cards that you could choose the same way you choose a voice pack now.
Yeah.
Because the way you choose a voice pack is, okay, you can either have default voice pack, character voice pack, or the current skin you're using as voice pack. If it could have those, like the character or the skin, the main skin you're using as the frame, that'd be good. Because you wouldn't want to have. Well, you could. I suppose if you really wanted to, you could play a fucking Pumpkin Bomb King and get the abominable skin up the front. But I wouldn't agree with that. But like a bit more range to the way you can customize frames would be the better way to fix that problem they had.
And it's a shame. And when I put Paladins here, I specifically do it for Prime.
Prime Paladins, easily.
If I was to just judge it off of Paladins now, it wouldn't even be on this list. It is what it is. But with its Prime, that was genuinely. It's interesting because I've never really considered myself, when it comes to more competitive games, I've never really considered myself to be good at any of them, really. I mean, I was alright at CS when I used to play it, but but Paladins, a bit like Alex, I was at the point where I was actually pretty decent, and I would have considered myself like where I could actually play comps. I mean, the problem with Paladins comps was based off your team, so if your teams were idiots, but I would actually decently perform in comps. I mean, I know at that time that was when Maeve was in her prime, and she was a fucking nerf. But yeah, it was just one of those things, one of those games where I always play every day. I'd get on and play, to the point where over 50% of my hours was one fucking character. One character. Yeah. I don't think there's much else to say about Paladins. We've talked about that quite a bit. Now, on to my most played video game of all time. And that is Skyrim. This is including all of the various editions that I have played with it. The original edition, the special edition, the VR edition, the Switch edition, and even I don't know how many. Switch I didn't play that much of.
Yeah.
The Xbox edition, I don't know how many hours. I assume it's like 100. So it's well over 1,000 hours of Skyrim. And what's very funny about it was a game that I bought on a whim. I knew nothing about Skyrim. Nothing. I had simply seen it on the store. And I'm like, I want a game. This sounds kind of cool, I guess. And I bought it. That is legitimately one of the best purchases I have ever made in my life. Considering just how much I've fucking played this. I mean, aside from, I'm not even going to get into the mods to begin with. Just the base game itself. I will admit that it's not, and there's plenty of people who have the opinion that the older games were better. They're right. The Morrowind was as an RPG better. It was more complex. It had better mechanics. The only thing it lacked was the graphics that at the time, whatever. And even that Oblivion, I can understand that. And a lot of mainly RPG nerds will criticize Skyrim for being very simple. However, it was that simplicity that pulled me in. The simplicity plus the ability to do whatever the fuck I want. What drew me in was the mechanics, but then what kept me there was the fact that whenever I start a new game, I don't have to do the main quest. I can go become the fucking master vampire before I finish the main quest. I can go become the fucking head of these cunts before I even step into the first village I'm supposed to step in. And then the fact that you can create whatever character you want in the character customizer, you can do whatever skills you want, and then you create your own story. It's an element of games that whenever a game has this, it always draws me in, and that is when you can create your own character, you create your own thing, and then do your own story. But the problem is, a lot of games that do that are MMOs, which I often feel disconnected with. I feel I'm always disconnected to MMO storylines, but with Skyrim, not necessarily, right? It because it's a single player game. There's no real worry of quest that thousands of other people have done. No, that save my character's unique. And as I played it, just the lore as well, which I am not. I mean, I used to be more versed in it, but even then, I knew there is so much fucking lore within the Elder Scrolls. But the lore was just so interesting. The Dovahkiin and the Dragon Lord, the Daedra, the Aedra, the creation myth, all the other gods of the different fucking cultures. How one culture calls a god this thing, when the other culture calls it this thing. Right? Yet, in this one culture, they see this god as this, but actually they're separate. So it is an alternate word for it, but they're actually things that this guy's this. And then there's the whole idea of the unreliable narrator, where you that says, oh yeah, this happened. When in reality, it's fucking bullshit, and that didn't happen. Because the person who wrote it in universe is either lying, they could have a different agenda, they could just be fucking wrong. They could just be fucking be a fucking dumbass. And the lore, I mean, the amount of hours I've spent watching videos on lore and looking at all the different Daedra and all the different gods, and then, looking at the dragon language, trying to fucking learn the dragon language, trying to learn how to write in the Daedric alphabet. The hours I've spent just messing around with that game, just running around doing dumb shit, killing people. Even by itself, it's a game that you can have so much fun in and do whatever you want. But then it is expanded even more with the mods, and if it weren't for mods, I would not know Skyrim as I do. And Skyrim the game would not be around if it weren't for the modding scene. The modding scene for that game just lifted it kept it afloat for so fucking long. It has kept it alive for so long because modders are able to do such amazing shit with that game. They're able to add their own quests. They're able to overhaul the entire mechanics of the game. They can add their own animations, everything. One of my favorite mods of all is a Skyrim mod because it just adds this entire fucking museum, this entire quest line. There's mods that change there's mods I cannot live without, like mods that change the perks, mods that change the UI, mods that add cool weapons. A mod that literally lets you use the fucking Sharingan.
Yeah, as you do.
The modding community in that game has made every playthrough so fun, unique, and it lets you make your own character and expand upon that even more.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanted to create a scientist? Well, do you want that scientist to also have a TARDIS? Do you want this mage to also have a Sharingan?
Yeah.
Do you want this mage to have I don't know, this sword from this one fucking... Do you want this one to have the Master Sword? Do you want them to have this, that, whichever? And it I wouldn't say the modding is as great as Minecraft. Minecraft can do much more. But what is amazing about Skyrim is the fact that the modding community has boosted so much. Minecraft in general is all about the modding. That's it. It's all there'll be server plugins, the mods you put in the game, the texture packs, the maps, all that shit. That it's built around that. But Skyrim was not. Skyrim was built as its own game, yet it has become so much more with mods to the point where there's an entire game. There's an entire new game that is just a heavily modded version of Minecraft. There are multiple instances of that. There are people who have tried to remake older Elder Scrolls games in this game, and there's even people who have made it multiplayer. A game whose engine is not designed for multiplayer in the slightest. They have at least done something. The scale of modding in this game is so substantial, and again, if it wasn't for this modding scene, the hours would not be put into it. Yet that is also what makes Skyrim so great. And I have spent hours just downloading different mods, exploring new buildings they add, and just having fun creating new characters. You know, a lot of my characters above like level 40, and that's simply because I create character because it's so fun creating your own character and deciding what playstyle am I going to do now. Am I stealth? Am I going to have this person be a pyromancer, a druid, a conjurer, two-handed axe? The last one I said, you know what, fuck it, I never played. I'm going to use that. Or am I going to have a sword in one and an axe in the other? Am I going to have a shield? There's so many possibilities, and so many possibilities are added with the mods. And it's a game that I do come on and off a lot. Sometimes I'll play it for a bit and then I'll stop playing it for a few months. But it's a game that I think I'm always going to come back to until the next game comes out, mate. But even then, I think it's a game I'm always going to come back to. And even Skyrim aside, even the Elder Scrolls in general. I mean, the rest of the games are great. Oblivion's amazing. I haven't played much of Morrowind. Morrowind is a bit harder for me to get into, just age. A bit trickier. Same with Daggerfall and Arena.
I mean, I say
Especially those two.
I say Pokemon like Sword and Shield is like my least favorite Pokemon game, and yet I still have the most hours on that game.
Yeah.
On the Switch.
Yeah. The DLC. You know, a lot of people have a go at some games with their DLC and say, "Oh, they did." Skyrim DLCs are very good. I think they're very good. I mean, the one that added the least, which at least was like $6. But then you got one that added in an entire island, with all these different quests, all these different mechanics. One expanded the vampire system, and then you look at Oblivion, which had, in my opinion, my favorite DLC of all time, Shivering Isles, where you essentially become a god.
I am a god.
And
fear me, Alex.
They're amazing. They're amazing. The DLC is amazing, and everything about that world. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just a fantastic fucking series in general. Skyrim is a fantastic fucking game. And despite me now, as I get older, see more of the game, I can't help but still look at it and say this game is I don't want to say perfect, but I'm so tempted to say just because of the modding community, just because of on top of how great it is, it can be expanded on in such great ways. So yeah, I don't have much else to say, but that's why Skyrim is to date by far my most played game. Yeah. That's all I've got to say about it.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Is that it for today? We're done. I think we're all just a bit tired now from this shit.
Yeah.
We all kind of spoke over an hour, which I'm partially surprised about.
Yeah, I was surprised that I managed to pull out over an hour. I'm like, fuck, I've been talking for an hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's
Is this
the
one
end
of
of
our longer
today's
streams?
stream.
3 hours, 40 minutes?
Yeah, relatively.
Oh,
Caleb would shut the hell up.
What, you wanted him to stop talking?
Nah.
I like listening to Caleb talk about this shit.
Okay,
I
fair
don't know
enough.
about you.
Alright. So stream ending in
Yeah,
5.
I don't know what it is, but I like hearing people talk about what they like, what they care about.
True.
I don't really care about what they're saying.
I mean,
I
we
care
both
that they're
mark
saying
we
it.
both mark down Dishonored.
Yeah, true. And sometimes I do things. I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah,
I marked down the anime. Last time I marked down some anime that you were talking about. I'm like, okay. When I eventually get around to
Once you
watching
finally bother.
stuff, yeah, well, I'll
Consider this.
Yeah. Well,
It's always nice listening because Caleb always has a lot to say.
yes,
think-
he does.